Hi, everybody, and welcome to the RHAP B&B for weeks 1 through 3, 4, 3.5. We're recording this on a Monday, so who the hell knows, of Big Brother 23. My name is Mike Bloom, here to talk about a season that has only been a month, but has felt like a year, considering all the malarkey that has been happening. And we've got a lot of fun and games to talk about this very fun season so far. Of course, let me welcome in the co-owner of the B&B, Liana Boris. Liana, may I put in a suggestion? Should we call the B&B the Big and Blue in honor of Big Brother 23 from now on?
Ooh, the big and blue couch. Yes, we can theme all of our furniture based on that. I could get behind that. I could get behind that. I mean, this has been such a fun season so far. So anything that throws homage towards BB23, at least at this point, I'm okay with.
We are so happy to welcome in our first guest here on the B&B for season 23 proper. It's been a minute since we've been talking BB with him in this specific venue. But of course, if you're listening to RHAP, if you're on BB Twitter, you know this guy. We put out a bowl full of chapsticks just for him. Aman Adwin, welcome back to the B&B. How's it going?
I'm so excited to be back. I don't think I've been on the B&B since BB20, so it's been 2 full seasons, and I love the B&B. I listen all the time, so lovely to be able to drop my bags and grab my chapstick and just have a wonderful stay. Yay.
Anything you need, Aman, we will lay out the red carpet for you. I mean, we'll stay away from the farms, the Frenchy farms, but other than that, I think we can really make this a home for you.
Oh,
That
Liana, I was
sounds like a
hoping we'd buy
beautiful
some
itinerary.
property right next to the Frenchie farm because I don't think
Oh.
I don't know if Frenchie has neighbors, considering if he acts as a farmer the way he acts in the Big Brother house, like I think he might be one of the most calamitous neighbors you'd ever want to have.
Could you imagine like waking up at 3 a.m. in the morning because like he just had his 17th Coke of the day and he's like, flour! I need flour!
Yeah, all I can imagine
Honestly.
is him just like throwing seeds in the ground at 4 a.m. frantically, just being like, "Come on, grow! Come on, come on!" He starts threatening the seeds, like, "Oh, you just wait. I'm gonna dig you up if you don't grow right this second."
Oh, the poor livestock, too, having to bear witness to all of that abuse for the plants. Frenchie Farm sounds... I didn't think that we'd have to be thinking about that this soon in the podcast, but here we are.
Well, this is our look back, right? So like we have to
Yeah.
talk about Frenchie. We have to talk about these first few weeks of Big Brother 23. So as I said at the top here, so we're recording this in the middle of week 4, but at the time we're recording this, right, like everything has played out sans the live vote. So I think we could kind of count this as like a week 4. That way it's also nice and tidy because we're also, sort of sending off the team twist as well. It's only going to last the first 4 weeks. So obviously the three of us have had a lot to say on the past few podcasts, even outside the B&B, about Big Brother 23. So, no new ground necessarily to be covered here, but let me throw out a question. Thinking about this past month of Big Brother 23, because we're all fans of Big Brother Canada. I have seen the comment that this cast reminds people of a Big Brother Canada cast, whatever that means for you. Liana, do you agree or disagree with that?
I think one of the first things I think of with Big Brother Canada is that their cast has been more diverse, right? And so any cast that's more diverse in comparison to the very much white US cast is of course gonna just visually look more similar. I mean, that really is the biggest distinction. I think that and like sometimes the Canada people they just feel more real. And maybe that's me as like an American being like, they're Canadian. They're so real. That could be, I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, you realize you live in America, right? And you are married to a Canadian citizen.
Yeah. I mean, technically he's not a citizen, so is he really real?
Is
So
he real?
is he real, real? And so I think that those are the two biggest things that I think of, but especially the diversity, right? I mean, we've just had a really fabulous cast and diverse in so many different ways, right? And I think for me, that's where the similarities start, and honestly, probably end.
What do you think, Aman?
Yeah, I think it's definitely just the diversity of it. However, I don't necessarily feel like this is a Big Brother Canada cast. It feels still very much American. I don't know if I can put into words exactly what I mean, and I hope that I'm not sounding very ethnocentrist right now, but it feels, I just think that the way that we grapple with race and diversity in this country is just a little different, not entirely different from I was about to say Canada, than Canada. But I think that, you know, history and context always matters. And so the same racial reckonings that have had to go on with our northern neighbors in comparison with ours are similar paths, but different paths. So I feel like the types of conversations that we see happen on this show, especially within the past 2 seasons for Big Brother All-Stars 2, I feel like it's a very much more aware experience of, man, like we have really not had diversity in the past, and now we are really trying to make sure that that is talked about, observed, but we also move forward with that. Whereas with Canada, it hasn't been as much of an issue. So I feel like the conversations that surround it feel a little bit more par the course, but not in a bad way. So it definitely feels it doesn't feel Canadian to me, but I can understand visually. Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think that conversation piece of it, I agree, as I think not necessarily missing. I mean, Big Brother Canada 9, right, like had those conversations in the first weeks, but it's not necessarily like something to talk about or something for the first HOH to claim they're basing their nominations off of, as a clear example. Where I do see the point, though, is I think this cast likes to have a lot of fun together. And not to say that other casts don't, but I do feel like the cast of the past few seasons, especially like Big Brother 19 cast, is not putting on improv shows. And if they do, I'm fearful of the results. Big Brother 21's cast is not playing games of Mafia. They did. They were screaming at Nicole Anthony within the HOH room. They were playing their own game of Mafia. So I think what I like about this is, despite the frankly intense gaming going on from a good majority of the cast, they sort of are doing their own version of these Marsha the Moose tasks, right? Of like, hey, let's take a second to do a line dance. Hey, let's do a talent show. It seems like they are a cast in particular, more so than recent US seasons, that are more likely to be like, hey, we'll kick back for the night. We'll do some like goofy camp activities almost, which I think is distinctly different to me than previous American seasons, and maybe more so towards Canadian, where sponsors just throw crazy crap at them during the course of any given week.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense too. I mean, I didn't really think about that too much, but yeah, I mean, I think you're right. They definitely do seem very congenial with one another, and that was something that I was actually kind of fearful of going into this season. I was fearful of a lot of things going into this season, just because, I mean, it's Big Brother, so hey, you got to sign a waiver for your emotions and everything going into this. But I was kind of afraid that would this season come off a little bit too preachy, too on the nose, too poster child for diversity, all of that? Would the cast be super hype aware of all of that and really do the most to make it seem like they're not racist? And yeah, we did get that one person in Frenchie, but I think by and large, the whole cast doesn't really seem to force these friendships that happen. They seem very genuine, they seem very real, and they have happened over a very quick course of time, which usually is the case for Big Brother because they just spend all day with one another. But yeah, they do feel like a big giant family, and I think that this probably might end up being one of the closest casts in recent years, because half these casts, I mean, Big Brother 21 are still arguing on Twitter this week.
I was gonna say, like, listen,
oh my God.
look no further of like what you don't want to do than just Big Brother 21 on Twitter as a subject.
It's just
oh my gosh.
I
think another thing too about this cast is there seems like there's, and this is not like a Canada comparison, although I guess it may be a little bit somewhat, there's so many people who want to play the game and who come in with background and with information on how to play the game. So there's people like Derek X who are learning the game and who, will become a good player, hopefully through his just innate set of skills and then also through learning the game. But he's one of the rare ones, right? You have so many other people, Claire, Tiffany, Kylan, Xavier, Alyssa, right? And Sarah Beth, they all want to play hard. And I think that is really fun to watch, because the number of people that are just there to, just like chill and hang out, that's a really low percentage. And I think that makes for a lot of really interesting gameplay.
Yeah, and a rising tide like raises all boats from that perspective, right? So that you could see someone sit in the back pocket and really read the temperature of the house and be like, okay, if you don't need to stand out in the beginning, then you don't need to stand out. But I think a lot of these players hit the ground running, and I guess you have to give a little bit of odd kudos to Frenchie in that regard, because when you have your first HOH coming out, right, and being like final two, target, often to like the same exact people he was just offering final twos to, you're like, all right, I guess if someone's hitting the ground running at the first HOH, I guess I better keep up pace. And I think as a result, we have had, some pretty intense strategy going on from like an overall cast perspective that I have seen in not for quite a while, especially from like, a modern BB perspective. Maybe not since like Big Brother 15, and look, Big Brother 15 has a lot of problems with it, but it does seem like this is a group of people that are like, unlike Big Brother 15, to Amon's point, are very congenial, friendly to each other, but then they're also like, okay, how can I cut your throat? How can I snipe them? And something I do appreciate as well, too, is that this also might be the most meta cast that we have ever had, right? It feels like there's so much talk about like, oh, we know this is coming on this day and this is coming on this day. They're calling out, like Tiffany calls out all these feeds, moments. It feels like, granted, I guess by the caliber of people they put on the cast in the past, you occasionally get those people, but I feel like we have not had a cast who has a knowledge of the series and franchise as a whole on the level of this one. And look, while there's always fun in throwing people in who don't know the game, looking at you, Australian Survivor, Brains versus Brawn, there's also something really fun about bringing on like a bunch of people that enjoy the show, want to be there to play the game and play the game only, and see what happens.
Yeah, there's lots of fans in the cast, and I think that has sort of been like equally, for me at least, the the thing that has made me the most jealous of this cast, and also like probably just the happiest as well, because you kind of really get to see, because I feel like there really is somebody for everybody on this cast, and I feel like I see myself in quite a few of these players, so it really feels like I'm in there with them more so than most other seasons. And so yeah, I think in a lot of ways maybe this is the antithesis of BB15. Maybe this is what we would have gotten without all of the shady shit with BB15.
That's actually really interesting that you bring that up, Amon, that you feel like there's somebody there for everybody, because I definitely, for sure, have seen myself in more of these cast members than I ever have really watching Big Brother. It's usually like maybe one or zero people that I feel like I like really relate or empathize with, or can, sort of feel like, oh, I really want to root for you because I am invested in you as a person because I see those similarities. And now it's like too overwhelming. I'm like, there's too many faves. Now I don't know what to do.
Right. So now it's like, instead of having no interest in everyone, you have too much interest in everyone. Yeah. So it's like, would you rather have your heart cut out, or would you rather have it like cauterized and you don't feel anything at all? It's a hell of a would you rather.
Yeah, it's a little freeing though too, because then I'm like, Puya and I were talking about, oh, okay, well, what would we want to happen this week, or like what would be the most interesting and exciting? And I think then there end up being a lot of different scenarios that are going to be interesting and exciting, because you have all of these avenues that you're just curious to see what happens when they get explored. So just I'm feeling blessed with the season so far.
Especially, I mean, for me, this past week it's been very refreshing for me, that feeling of freedom, because normally there's maybe 1 to 2 Black people that are on the cast, and so every single time that they're in trouble, I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna go through this. It's like the whole Davon factor of it all. And we gotta go through all of this. I have to like sit here and fight with people on BB Twitter. I have to like defend this person, even when they're wrong, even when they're bad at the game, all the way to the cows come home, because there's only one of us in there. We gotta ride for this person. But no, there's like 6 of us in there now, and they kind of screwed up the plan that they had for themselves going into this week. And I was sitting here like, well, that's y'all fault. And it felt so good to be like, well, I mean, if one of y'all goes, there's still there's like 5 left. So I'm good. Exactly. I mean, I'm going to be sad. I'm going to be sad about it, but y'all did it to yourselves. It was very nice to be able to feel that way.
Yeah, like more wiggle room for failure, right? Instead of just like the one outcome that will make me happy, there's multiple outcomes. And so it's like I can breathe a little bit this season.
And I think part of that is, the boots so far, which have been incredibly interesting. 3 very interesting weeks for very different reasons. And so on that note, let's start getting into our usual B&B fare, because of course, Leon and I, as we do every season, wrote preseason what our predictions would be about this cast. In between when we talked last, and then there was a new cast member. Christy is out, Claire is in. Christy is not out. She's out and about on Twitter if you want to check out what she's doing. But I don't even remember. I don't think I even wrote predictions for Christy because I believe Liana, like maybe less than 24 hours after we recorded our podcast, I got an email from CBS being like, FYI, a cast member, we're doing a last minute switch up. And so it's like, all right, well, I'm going to wait on this until I figure out who the hell's coming in her place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't. And then I didn't go back and write one for Claire. So
are you just going to co-opt it?
Yeah. So I'm just going to change anytime I have the word Christy, I will switch it to Claire and it will make no sense.
That'll make it interesting.
I'm so excited for like Claire's going to reveal the source of her alopecia to the rest of the house guests. Claire will perform a dance.
I don't want to spoil anything. I don't know when Claire is going to go, but her prediction from me will be interesting to say the least. So,
well, let's start things off. Let's say hello and goodbye to Travis. You might not remember all the way back to the beginning of July. We got rid of Travis, the poor quote unquote meathead who ends up being like the last one to get the sharp end of Frenchie's anti-meathead stick. So, Liana, how did you think Travis was going to do preseason?
Well, I said that Travis would make the jury, so weren't on that one. I said that he would start a prank war that no one else is interested in, but does get a segment on TV. He would be interested in a showmance, but none of the women were having it, and that he would plug his book on the feeds.
Oh, I forgot we read through his book.
Yeah, I read this and I was like,
oh my God, I missed that.
Yeah, it was called The Mysterious Pink Van. It was like a children's book about abduction.
He wrote like an anti-abduction book where he crowdsourced the illustrations to like a third grade classroom. So it's like a 16-page book. And so yeah, we read it through last time here on the BB, and it's wild because like I agree. I mean, we'll get into my predictions. Like, I thought it'd be a while before we could like make mincemeat out of that, but like that was all we had basically on Travis in his time on BB.
Yeah, exactly. I like read these things and I was like, I have no idea who this man is or was, because even like in the first week when it was, you know, he was the one who ultimately ended up going, there was just so much going on that he was not even the D story in the plot of that week. You know what I mean? Like, he's the back of the alphabet. So
he's very much a casualty of war.
Yes, exactly. The red shirt, the unnamed soldier, you know what I mean? So like that's how it feels. I also said his closest ally would be Derek X, so at least I got that one right. And his comic book name would be The Texas Tsunami, which I guess is supposed to be like because he was from Texas and then he went to Hawaii.
Okay, I see the alliteration in there. I see it.
So
he's like riding a cactus or something through the water.
Yeah, exactly. Like in the water. Yeah, it's like mixing the two.
Painful, Travis. Why would you do that?
It's part
he walks
of the
around
superhero.
barefoot all day. He's calloused under there. He's good.
Yeah, he's used to it. It's fine.
So I did not have as high hopes for Travis. I had him going pre-jury. I thought that he was going to be the big first true blindside of the season in terms of nomination and eviction of like, oh my God, we're making this big move. We're backdooring this guy. I mean, granted, his nomination was a surprise to him, but all the nominations that week were surprises to people. I said that he'll kickstart a prank war that goes awry when someone gets injured. So like, I don't know, someone slips on shaving cream and like goes through a glass window or something. I don't know what I had in mind there.
A glass window.
Yeah, as opposed to those non-glass windows.
Yeah, right.
I said that he'll attempt to mimic Brett at eviction night to the point where everyone will only remember him for his speech. Time might tell. Let's remember, Travis actually did have that memorable speech where he took his shirt off. He quoted Paul Rudd that Brett proceeded to quote him about in week 3. So at the end of the day, that might be what we remember him for.
I will say that's the only thing I remember is he said Island Mama. I don't remember what else he said related to that. He said when he was like doing his shout outs, it was like mom, dad, my island mama, something like that.
Yeah, I remember that now. Yeah, he did say that.
That's literally all I remember about Travis.
I said his closest ally was Tiffany, and his comic book name was either iLad, so like island without the N, like lad.
Oh no.
Or Hawaiian Punch (parentheses his hands are waves).
Okay, that one. I like that one.
No, you don't. Oh, I'm so glad that one won out over
Yeah.
I Lad. I know it was a sneaker.
It was really tight. It was really tight. It was really the hands as waves that clinched it for me, Mike. So good thing you had that detail.
All right, so Aman, as our guest, you are the arbiter of our fate. Who had the better prediction for what would happen to Mr. Travis?
So, I mean, both of you made pretty good predictions. I mean, the pre-jury one on Mike's part was pretty good, but the fact that Liana was able to sort of sniff out a DX alliance is also pretty good. So, do I make it come down to the BB comics? Hawaiian Punch is pretty good, but it's a little too on the nose. But Eyelad is imaginative.
Yeah, okay, I got someone with Eyelad.
Okay, this is also though like the team that brought you Mem Fist. So like Island Punch, I feel like is very much in line with that.
That's true. Texas Tsunami. I do appreciate the alliteration there. Huh.
Nothing can beat Mem Fist.
You know,
though,
I think the thing that is most impressive to me right now is the fact that you predicted a DX friendship. So I want to give it to Liana.
The frat broness. Like that was the one connection. So
okay.
Yes. Okay,
I will admit there was a while when people were trying to figure out what to call Derek X and they settled on DX that I kept misreading as DMX. May he rest in peace. And then it just made me imagine like how Derek X and DMX seem like complete opposite personalities just in terms of people.
Yes. Yes, very
Completely.
much that. Completely opposite.
Yeah, may he rest in peace. Yeah, I feel kind of vacillate between the DX and the Derek X, but I think or DXXX, you know. But well, you know.
Yeah,
whichever one floats my boat that day.
I saw that. I saw that leg pic that he was showing off the other day. Like he's got gams. People say gams. Is that a thing?
No one says gams.
Boys got gams.
Boys got gams.
I've never heard it before, but I figured it meant something positive.
That boys got gams.
Those gams. Well, that's what I remember. It was Aman because you were like, yeah, like Derek X, he can get it. He's a snack. I'm obsessed. And I was like, yeah, okay, he's like cute. And then they had his tennis playing intro video where he was shirtless, and I was like, Aman was right all along. Aman was right all along.
Yeah, you're like, oh man, look at those gams.
Those gams.
I'm not proud of it, but I am.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, the last time
right.
we came on here, we came up with the superlative of like who's most likely to get thirsted on during like the opening toast, and we were just like Xavier. Oh, Xavier. And here Derek X is like John Cryer in Pretty in Pink, right? Standing there hat in hand, being like, I was here the whole time.
Exactly.
Get with me, Molly Ringwald.
I mean, Xavier is a pretty good looking guy too, so I'm definitely not, turning my head up at that either. So just putting it out there.
I don't know. I'm a Kai guy. I'm attracted to personality, and I think
I love
his
Kai
personality attracts me.
Yeah, it was when I was doing the morning update for that week when he was the HOH and he was doing all his meetings and he was like organizing everybody and he was like, okay, you got 5 minutes. And I was like, oh, I love you.
Like office authority, managerial power is what like turns you on.
The organizational skills.
Shift manager.
Off the charts. Yeah, exactly. Schedule me.
Schedule me, daddy.
Schedule me, daddy.
All right, let's move on here. Speaking of daddy, let's talk about Frenchie, who is a father. I'll start here because what the hell could you predict about what Frenchie was going to bring to this season? I'm not sure. Here's what I had to say. I had Frenchie going pre-jury. I think I was along the line with you and Aman and the rest of the RHAP during that draft that I think he was going to be a crash and burn. I said that he would become an easy first target that unifies the house. I said he would break down at least once about missing his family in the limited time he's there. I said he would give himself a nickname in the DR that absolutely nobody else calls him, which I think did get with like old green thumbs or whatever he called himself at one point.
Was that a thing?
Something technically happened, but in the reverse, except there wasn't anybody in the house. It was all of us out here roasting him every day with French puns. So
Exactly. I said his closest ally would be Sarah Beth, or I just called her Sarah, a la a Donnie and Nicole thing. And I said his comic book name is The Frenchman, even though he's not French. And sometimes I put catchphrases in for some of these, evidently, and his catchphrase is, "It's mime time."
So is he
Why
a
is
mime?
he Yeah, is that
Like a
was that-
Parisian mime?
Yeah, so he's like the Frenchman, right? Like he has like a
Yeah.
baguette, I don't know, tucked under his arm, and he's a mime, and it just says it's
Yeah.
mime time, or like
Like a-
he puts the mime in crime, or something like that.
Ooh, he puts the mime in crime. I like
But there is
that
no
one.
mime in crime.
I don't even
Cremime.
know what that means. Cremime.
Cremime, yeah. All right,
I'm
Liana,
gonna
I'm.
oh, that's what it is. No, it's when you're gonna when you commit a crime as a mime, it's a cremime.
Okay, instead of a mime
Mm.
crime.
Yes, exactly. I've solved a problem that no one had. Okay.
Remember when they let a whole ass mime into the house in Big Brother 4 just to like
Yes.
fuck with the contestants?
That was hilarious.
I forgot all about that. Oh my gosh.
That should
Wow.
come back. I mean, I guess that was like that's kind of like the early equivalent of the
Of Big Dick Johnson.
Big Dick Johnson. Yeah, exactly. So just like more miming, less yelling. But okay. So here I also had Frenchie going pre-jury. And I
Okay.
too said that he would have a breakdown from missing his family. I said that he would get way too many confessionals because Big Brother loves his accent. Like that was the specific reason why he would get those confessionals.
His Big Brother just like, oh, you're so exotic. Where are you from? Tennessee?
Okay.
Oh, say it again.
I know, not from the South. What? I did say he would play way too hard, too fast, just doing all the things to live out his Big Brother Twitter fantasy. I also said his closest ally would be Sarah Beth. I actually wrote Sarah Beth or Whitney. And then for his comic book name, I said Frenchie Exotic because it's like Joe Exotic, but he's Frenchie Exotic.
Frenchie Exotic?
Yes. And he'll never financially recover from this. And it's perfect because Big Brother is always like a million years behind the trends. So like when they start doing stuff, it's like, oh yeah, that was popular.
Well, no, I think
what was that one thing they did?
They did Tiger Zing, remember?
Yes, Tiger Zing, but it was it was like several months after. So this is just the follow up to Tiger Zing.
I think that was last year, right? Where they had like the aliens in the maze.
Yeah, that was weird.
And Devon, get your ass over here. Oh, that was so funny. Okay, so this is going to come down to the comics again because both of you had very similar predictions. I think I have to give it to Mike this time because I think that the Frenchman is just a little bit more. I think it's a little better.
It's got a catchphrase too. So
he puts the mime in crime.
Yeah. Puts the mime in crime.
All right, let's move on to the man, the myth, the legend in his own head. Mr. You Can Never Blindside Me, evidently. Brent Champagne.
Oh, dear Lord.
All right.
The gift that keeps on giving that you ask for the gift receipt for immediately.
I wrote down some more of his quotes because there's the whole, obviously, my body perceives my intelligence. That I had a lot of cooking in my mental, but there was one that I remember from the episodes because I remember turning to Puyi and being like, that's not it. I was born late but I wasn't born last night, especially because the whole Boston Rob quote of like that resurgence. So that is probably maybe one of my favorites. It's like the dark horse of my favorites of Brent quotes, but anyway.
Because what it implies, like, yes, you're born at night, but not last night. I was born late in comparison to what? Like, were you like 10 weeks along? Was that how you were born late? You late to term?
Yeah, like a 42-week baby, like, I don't know exactly.
I was a 42-week baby, but I was not born last night.
Oh yeah, my mom had me cooking in her mental.
All right, so Liana, how did you think Brent was going to do preseason?
I did say he would go pre-jury. I said that his medieval tactics and mindset prevent him from integrating with the house.
Well, so that was by far the main takeaway that I got from these like little interviews I got to do with the contestants. I'm still like, I think I realized in hindsight, everything we needed to know about Brent was when I asked him, what do you value in an alliance partner? He's like, loyalty. Back in the medieval times, if you broke your honor, you were dead. We should bring that back. That's all you need to know about Brent Champagne.
I still refuse to believe that this man is real. I refuse to believe that all of the things that come out of his mouth are things that he actually believes. He seems way too damn cartoonish of a person to actually have really existed on Big Brother 23. All the way up until his blind side. I still just have a hard time swallowing that he walks through life this way. But then when his sister gets on Reddit and is like, oh yeah, that's him. I'm like, oh my God. It's baffling to me that anybody can be this self-unaware. You're 28 years old. If it doesn't stop now, when is it ever going to stop?
I never. It will never stop.
That's the thing. Like, in response to obviously some of the interviews that myself and other members of the press did, like a lot of people, especially in response to some pretty bad things he was saying, particularly about the female house guests, they were like, I hope he learns from this. I got news for you. Brent Champagne is not learning anything from this. He's not. No. In fact, it's going to embolden him even further to be like, no, listen, I got on my way onto a reality show where they had to take me out for a big threat because of who I am as Brent Champagne. Why fix what's not broken?
I honestly feel like Love Island was such a better casting because he would have flamed out over there as well, but it would have been a little bit more apropos to I feel like the assignment over there, I feel like he probably would understand that assignment a little better over there. So
I think especially he stands out in this cast too. You know what I mean? Like, it's the contrast for me that really just shows how ridiculous human being he is. Because I mean, even like Beast Mode Cowboy, who I would argue is probably maybe more ridiculous than Brent, that he maybe wasn't at the differential was not as great between the cast. So, but yes, I 100% agree with you. Like, even Brent in his last week, I was like, no, this can't be real. Like, the things he was saying, I was like, this just can't be real. It's real.
Getting worse and worse.
Yeah, that's why he's reality TV gold. Obviously, did some not so great stuff, but you gotta bring those people on. You gotta have the people on who literally thinks he takes a crap and is like, hey, check out that leprechaun gold in there. He thinks that he was God's gift to Big Brother. And the great thing about this cast is, again, I agree, everyone was sort of at a different level so that you can know someone like Brent, who maybe in another season would have actually been on the okay side of things from a gameplay perspective.
Yeah. And the fact that the whole house was just like, let's all do this ruse. All for you, Brent. It's all for you. Okay, well, so to go back to my prediction, I said also that he would, I was really stuck on this medieval thing. So I said he would create an alliance called the Knights of the Round Table. Ooh. Obvious. I also said that he would brag about being a comp beast, but fail to win any competitions. And his closest ally would be Christian. And then his comic book name would be Brent 737. It's like Boeing 737. It's Brent 737.
So what is he,
he's
like
an airplane?
Yeah, so he's a plane?
I don't know. I guess
he's a plane that crashes and burns.
A plane with Brent's face on it. That's your nightmare fuel, folks.
Oh
Good
my
luck
God.
sleeping tonight.
That's like Thomas the Tank Engine, but much more terrifying.
Face
yeah.
I'm the best plane in the world.
Oh my God.
All right, so
this cockpit perceives his intelligence. I don't know where
is that his tagline?
Yeah.
I got something cooking in my cockpit, and it's not the in-flight meals. All right, so I actually had pretty high aspirations for Brent, mile high aspirations. I had him making finale night.
Wow.
Yeah, I had pretty a good, I thought was a good read on Brent Champagne. I thought he would tell the most stories because he's been around the world. I don't think he ended up doing that. I said he would win both OTEV and the slip and slide. I said he would spend the most amount of time in the house shirtless. I'm surprised he did not steal that one from Travis in his eviction speech. And he partners up with Alyssa early on. That's why she is his closest ally. His comic book name is just The Flight Attendant, but his catchphrase is Kuwoko no.
What?
Like Kaylee Kuwoko, I guess.
Oh my God.
That's a little, I think, too outside the box for Big Brother.
I also like that it's a time capsule of what Mike was watching at the time.
Yeah, it was very much like the flight attendant, like, because I know that Big Brother, like I think dollars to donuts, it's probably going to be the flight attendant. And so I'm just like, let me spice this up a little bit. What can I throw in there? Oh, Kaylee Cuoco, no, here comes the flight attendant.
I mean,
Mike.
it's certainly imaginative.
This is like your teacher trying to give the positive feedback before they give the negative feedback. That like, well, it's definitely
give me the good news first.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I certainly sympathize with you about the finale night thing for him, because I mean that was one of the things that made me choose him. I mean, granted, I chose him last out of my draft team, or close or second. I forget which one. He wasn't my first choice, but I thought that there was some charm there in some of the beginning interviews that we saw, and then more interviews came out, such as yours, and then it just kind of all went downhill from there. So, I kind of like Brent 737. I feel like it would have been better if it was Brenting 3730.
Oh, Brenting. Yeah. I mean, that's what I had. I said it wrong.
Oh, yeah, your thumb over it.
Yeah.
I don't know. This was like a toss up. I kind of like them both.
Have a point. Have a point to each of us then. I think we'll be like those two pole vaulters, right? Like we both get a gold.
Yes, we'll split the medal. Yes, we'll both take a gold medal.
There we go.
All right, so at this point, listen, we're talking on Monday. Spoiler, blam, 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 blam. Whitney's like DOA at the moment, right? So like, Liana, do we want to, since we're probably not going to do a B&B for a few weeks, we want to just like do Whitney here as well?
Sure, let's do it.
All right, I'll go first with Whitney. I had Whitney making the jury. I said that she would serve as the go-to for all the showmances in the house. I said that she would be the Yenta for all my Fiddler on the Roof fans in the building. I said Raven style. People will make fun of her makeup skills on the other house guests all season. I don't know what Raven style means. I said after Tiffany gets evicted, she'll go on a tear and gets a couple of big names evicted. And she leaves at the Final Four when she loses the last veto. Final Four, week 4, it's the exact same thing. I said her closest ally would be Tiffany, and her comic book name is The Contour Conqueror. And her phrase is, she refuses to blend in.
Okay, that's pretty good. I actually like that. The Raven makeup is like, do you remember that still of like Raven doing her makeup in the house and she looked like a clown? Like
maybe it's that, or maybe it's like when she was a dancer and she like everyone mocked her dancing, right? It's this idea of like, if you do something for a living and when you show it off, people actually mock you for it. I think that's what I was going for with the Raven style comment.
I see. Yeah. Like you should be better than that, you know?
Yeah, because I feel we got a drag show, right? I think they made over the male house guests, but I feel like not a lot of people have come after Whitney's beat this season.
Yeah, no, I haven't heard it at all.
I mean, they all took a class from her last night on the feeds. So.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, because Sarah Beth was like, "Oh, I've never contoured before. My like life has been open to all these possibilities." I was like, "I feel you, girl. Change your face shape." Okay. I also had Whitney making jury. I said that she was not going to be a threat to anyone. Also not a big game player, so we'll probably lose her around jury, maybe double eviction, ? I guess I didn't want to commit to that for my prediction. I was like, no, let me put a question in there. I said that she would win the wall comp because she was motivated by the desire to see pictures of her kids and then subsequently cries when she sees her kids during the HOH room reveal. And I also said she'll probably be boring on feeds, so I will swap cameras to whatever the other conversation is.
Wow, Liana, Jesus.
I know, and it was like a very oddly specific prediction to not her in the game, but like my perception of her when I'm watching feeds. I don't know. I said her closest ally would be Frenchie or Christy, aka Claire. And for her comics name, I wrote the Hot Ice Cream Mama.
Oh, dear Lord.
I was probably like, this is something stupid Big Brother would say. Let me write it down.
Because I believe, if I remember correctly, one of her fun facts was she got an ice cream flavor name, which is also like the most basic flavor. I remember her being like, "Oh, I got this ice cream company.
It's
to
like
create
white,
a flavor, white chocolate raspberry, a combination that no one has ever." It's like, "Oh, I broke the bank. I created this uncouth." Experimental flavor combination, peanut butter and chocolate. No one's seen it coming. I'm a groundbreaker. Like, that's what I'm getting from Whitney's flavor here.
Yeah, you know, Big Brother casting, they often will always tell applicants you need to have stories, have something interesting to tell yourself, tell about yourself. That was definitely one of hers, which makes me think, what else is there, girl? Because like, how was that?
She had a story. Remember what we dug up about her, about like her living in her friend's attic, and like she has a hell of a story. Like, don't go with the ice cream.
Yeah,
I think it was a fun fact. I don't know if that classifies as a fun fact. It's a
fun
fact
for somebody. I'm sure her kids loved it, so we'll give it to her.
So I'm intrigued also by this concept of like, so is she like she's hot, or is it like hot ice cream
mama?
I think she's like an ice cream sandwich.
But is
she's
she
like
attractive?
Sexy. Yeah,
but it's
so
like
they gave her
it's like cinched at the waist.
Yeah, she's got the waist, she's got the butt, she's got eyelashes, because we all know that like if you want to anthropomorphize something and you want to make it female, you just put eyelashes on it. So I think that's what I was going for, perhaps.
Okay, instead of a hot ice cream lady, it's hot lady with ice cream.
Yeah, she's the hot ice cream mama instead of the hot ice cream mama.
Yeah,
hot ice cream.
Just a bowl of ice cream with
the ice cream.
Ew.
Spice cream. Ooh, spice cream.
Ooh, spice cream.
Spice cream. Oh, that's for superhero names. Spice cream.
Sixth Spice Girl. Spice cream.
Creamy spice.
Ooh.
I think. I mean, we definitely did a little bit of a workshop on Leona's.
Yeah, I'm so glad we were able to work the much better title of Spice Cream or Creamy Spice.
Genius. It's genius.
I think Mike's comment kind of wins it for him here. I think that was a pretty good one. So
thank you. All right.
That's fair.
So
That's fair.
we shall see. We have a long way to go on this, but I'm excited. This has been a really fun cast so far, and I am so intrigued to see where we go from hot lady ice cream, spice cream.
Mama.
Creamy spice.
Oh my goodness. All right, Liana, we got to go to our tried and true thing here on the B&B, specifically the BB B&B, the B&B B&C breaking news corner. We cut to our correspondent, Liana Boris, in the field. Liana, what's breaking?
Yes, hello. Thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be talking.
There's a microphone in front of your face. You don't need to mime holding the microphone.
I'm just practicing the Frenchy Frenchman. Yeah, that's the miming of it all. Oh my God. I don't even know what I want to start with. Okay. So one thing that is particularly topical and has been topical, I suppose, for the past, several months since it was announced, but it's finally happening. And that is the Big Brother fight night that's going to happen. So this is, okay. We're going to make predictions. Like, we'll go through it quick, but I'm just very curious because the fight is happening this Friday as of our recording. So here are some sorted articles for you guys that list the matchups. We'll go beat by beat, and we'll just say, okay, who do you think is going to win? Okay, there's 3 of us, so I think we'll be able to predict some winners here, and then we can see, as we do often on the B&B, if our predictions were right or wrong. So, okay, have either of you thought about this at all whatsoever?
You know, when it pops up on my little timeline or whatever, sometimes I'll click the link. One of the BB alumni has dropped the link in my DMs. I guess he wanted me to repost it, but he didn't even ask me to do it, so I'm not going to do it.
Oh, was it Adele?
It was Adele, yes.
He did the same thing with me.
I was trying to avoid names, but it is what it is at this point. No disrespect to the guy, but I was just I feel like you guys don't really need my help. I think you guys are going to be good. But yeah, so, there are a couple of lineups that I'm like, oh, interesting. Them, and some of them seem a little bit tilted in one's favor. I'm like, that guy's kind of bigger than you. Are you sure you want to do this? But we'll see. I mean, I hope they sign waivers. I'm excited. sort of. I'm probably not going to watch, but I'll probably watch the clips.
Perfect. Okay.
This is ridiculous. This is absolutely ludicrous.
This is hilarious.
This is like we're living in like truly a dystopian society that
I thought it had happened already. Like it kept like the promo for this has been so long.
Like February. It was like
that was
February.
the thing was that so they hyped the shit out of it from like February through like April or May. Then they went away, they backed off the marketing and gave no reason for it. I think the assumption is that because the border was closed down, they like couldn't do anything. And so I remember a lot of us were like, is this happening, or is this just like a collective fever dream on the parts of the Big Brother community?
It's you're right, Mike. It's giving very much dystopian because
this is like what we came up with for a B&B game that is like 100% fantasy. Like this is not real. Like this is the weirdest thing, and I'm kind of obsessed
Black
with it.
Mirror shit. Yeah.
Okay, well, I want to go and see if we can do some predictions on who we think is going to win. Don't have to spend a lot of time on this. I'm just very curious. So the first fight, and I'm just going based on the fight card from celebritynetfights.com. I don't know if that's like the thing that they put together for this.
I think so, though this is one of those websites and or networks I've never heard of until this very occasion.
I mean, yeah, me neither. Like, I don't know. Oh, yeah, okay.
Is it like a cameo for Celebrity Fight Nights?
I don't know.
No, this is like specific to this, I think, because Adele is the CEO and founder.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if they have like other fighters.
As opposed to like when an alumni, as opposed to when an alumni is like, okay, check out my new hit song or my new show that's coming to Zazzle, where I renovate houses. You're like, what the hell is Zazzle? Is that a new thing?
Yeah.
Zazzle. Okay, so let me go back to the matchups. Okay, so the first fight of the night, I'm just gonna assume this is in order because why not? The first fight of the night is gonna be Tom Plant from BB Can 1, who I like, not gonna lie, I did have to Google. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, he's unrecognizable now. Like I didn't even recognize him.
Yeah, exactly. And then Jeremy Maguire from Big Brother 15.
Well, that's another I think like had to Google and also unrecognizable. Like I'm looking at these two guys' photos right now, and Tom I can sort of see because he kind of had a beard in the house, but like Jeremy looks completely different. Because if I recall correctly, in Big Brother 15, he had absolutely terrible hair, like objectively awful hair, and it's at least gotten a little bit better the years since.
I think I remember being like very like slick back and greasy, and then I remember he drank a bunch of wine and like that upset people. Those are like the two memories I have of him.
Yeah, it was that I believe him and Aaron like absconded with all the wine and it pissed people off. And I remember him winning a veto when Brittany did a veto challenge of like, I'm pregnant, so build this mobile, and then he like rips the onesie. Those are the two images I have of I called him Jerry Maguire in my head.
And then I think one of his allies goes home in his place anyway, and then he goes home next. So that's pretty much the saga of Jeremy.
Yeah, he like went home like week 3 or something like that. Okay, well, so to give a little bit of stats, this is kind of what Aman was alluding to, but Tom is only 5'10" and Jeremy is 6'5", so that's like definitely a little bit of a reach difference.
That's
for like
a lot. Short person difference.
Yeah, Jeremy can just conk Tom on the head like a Looney Tune, and Tom will go through the ground.
Yeah, so look, I have no idea why this was the chosen matchup. I don't know, maybe just like they tried to match other people up first, and it was like, sure, you guys want to fight each other? All right, like you can fight each other. Okay, who do you think is going to win the fight?
I remember Jeremy being the very aggressive type in the house. I mean, his name is the Manimal right now. So the height really does give him a lot more of an advantage as well.
Oh, but God, I mean, they all have nicknames? I'm just looking at this now.
Yeah.
Oh, this is worse than our predictions,
Mike.
Rihanna.
Oh, I know. It's beautiful. So Tom Plants is Tommy Boy. Tommy Boy Plants.
Tommy Boy.
Jeremy, the Manimal Maguire.
Oh my goodness. Adele should have like tried to hire the guy that does the previously on Big Brother. Like that would have made me watch. I would pay to watch that happen just to hear that narration.
This is so stupid.
Maybe I'm not giving enough credit to Tom. Maybe, sometimes size isn't everything. And if you're small but you're fast, you might be able to get a quick few jabs in there. So you know what? Just for the sake of it, I'm going to say Tom's going to take this one.
All right, I like that.
Yeah,
he looks jacked.
I'm going to say Jeremy and afterwards he swigs a bottle of wine and like stumbles out that he like had packed in his shorts for whatever reason.
That's like the gimmick that he has going on. I'm honestly going to give this on height alone, although I do like Amon's logic for Tom. So I think that's going to be 2 for Jeremy, 1 for Tom. So we'll see ultimately what happens this week. Okay, the next matchup is the one that I personally am maybe the most I don't know, I'm excited for a lot of these, but this is Godfrey versus Enzo.
Oh no. Enzo's gonna have a heart attack in the ring, isn't he? Enzo's gonna die during
He's
this
gonna
boxing
like start
event,
rapping.
right?
I don't know. I just like Godfrey's gonna like whoop his ass, right? Like that's
Enzo,
the only thing I can envision.
Enzo is in his comeback era, okay? I mean, he already came back
Okay,
last year for Big Brother 22. Before that, a lot of people were like checking out his Instagram and everything. Like we saw it in his intro package for B22. He'd been working out and, getting in shape and trying to eat right and all that kind of shit. So he's definitely in his comeback era. And he did, place higher, placing higher in BB22. So he's got a little bit of momentum coming into this. And so I think there's a bit more of a muscle density problem here that is kind of more in Godfrey's favor. So I just made a great case for Enzo, but I'm still gonna go with Godfrey.
Yeah, this is the thing. I think that Enzo has nowhere to go but up. His boxing skills will no matter what be better than his skills in the final 2 speaking, but that's not saying much. I think Godfrey might make him start stammering like he did at the end there by the end of this. I'm surprised. So Godfrey went with the finesse god. What's going on here? Godfrey, you already had a nickname. You were the Lady Pleasa Manguiza. What happened to that?
Yeah, just changing up his image. And then of course Enzo is the meow meow. I like looking at Enzo's picture here. Enzo looks like I know nothing about boxing or any type of fighting, and Enzo is posing the way I would think
up,
to
right?
pose, like this, like it just looks anyway. Yeah, so I'm gonna go with Godfrey here.
Yeah. Oh, I love this that they also have for some reason they have comp wins in their stats for whatever reason.
It's like how much longer are we gonna have these Big Brother pelts up on the wall? Like, who cares about your fucking veto win? Oh, excuse me. Who cares about your veto win? Okay.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Okay, so the next fight that we have is Dallas D-Train, because that is his nickname, versus Nick the Landlord, Macaroni.
The landlord?
The landlord, yes.
Jesus Christ, does he want everyone to hate him? Don't call yourself the landlord. Nobody likes the landlord.
Well, and especially when the eviction notices are or the eviction moratoriums are going away, you really don't want to be the landlord. So
yeah, that's a really steep decline. You went from a children's therapist to an evictor of children.
Also, I'm not sure what Nick's going for in this photo. It looks like he's loosely cosplaying as Wolverine at Comic-Con. Like, this is not a boxer's pose, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's true. Dallas looks like he doesn't even want to be there, though. So, I don't know in comparison.
Yeah, and what happened to, he had Big Deezy. What happened to Big Deezy? Why are people just throwing away these nicknames they already had for themselves?
Again, I'm telling you, it's the rebranding.
Yeah, they're trying to branch out. I don't know about this one. I mean, Dallas, is a fan of confrontation. We saw it a lot in BB Can 4, not so much in BB Can 5, but it was still there. So he's a scrapper. But Nick, I mean, look, this is 2 Jersey representatives in a row. You got Enzo and you got Nick. Like these Jersey bros are very much the quintessential meatheads, right? Like we're thinking a similar vein of a Pauly Calafiore, a Cody Calafiore, all in the same sort of archetype. And they like to fight as well. So I don't know. I mean, I think this was kind of hard. I think
this one's tough.
To Nick, I think maybe.
Mike, what about you? What do you think?
I think I might go with not Big Deezy here, just because I think that Nick is going to come with him, right, and be like, "I'm having a kid, take pity on me." Big Deezy does not take pity. And so I think that D-Train's gonna run train on Nick Macaroni. The landlord is not gonna get his rent this month.
I know that there are a lot of people that are excited for this fight because so long people have been like, and I don't promote violence, but this is sanctioned violence, so I feel comfortable saying it now. So many people at the BB23 were like, Nick just needs to get his ass kicked. And so here you go, baby.
Yes.
So
Yes, that I am also very much looking forward to that. I think I'm gonna hedge my bets. I'm gonna say if Nick loses, I'll be happy because that'll be fun. But if Nick wins, I'm gonna put my money on Nick. So then in case he does win, I get some joy from that. So I'm gonna go with him on here. I'm gonna pick Nick for the winner of this one. Okay, so the next one is our first female matchup here. There's 2 out of all the ones that we have. And this is Maddie, Baddie Maddie, by the way. And
Baddie, like B-A-D-D or B-A-T-T?
Baddie.
Oh,
so it's
not
Baddie
Batty
Maddie. Not Batty Maddie.
yes, that's what it is, Mike. It's Baddie Maddie.
She's a Baddie Maddie.
She's Baddie. Versus Rockstar. And it's Angela Rockstar. No last name.
And she had a nickname. So like good for her. And like instead of,
she stuck with it. Yes.
Instead of Angela rocking my blocks off Landry. It's like, no, you had a nickname. Stick with the nickname. I you know what? I'm gonna give it to Rockstar just for that. That's what I'm picking. Because she had the sense to stick with her nickname.
I don't know why I assumed that Rockstar was taller than what she was, because when I saw that she was going to be paired up with Maddie, I was like, wait a second, like she's about to kick Maddie's ass, but she's shorter than Maddie. Like she's 5'4", Maddie's 5'5". So yeah, but I've been seeing these 2 seem to be the most excited about this out of anybody else. I haven't really seen a lot of the guys do a lot of promo, but these 2, especially back when they first announced it, you could see them working out in the gym and everything. I think there was a video of like Rockstar planking, and people were like, someone was like kicking her abs to like keep them in shape or whatever. So these 2 seem to be the most invested in what's going to happen. They've been doing a lot of playful shit talk to one another as well. So yeah, I honestly don't know with this one. I mean, Angela Rockstar, I mean, she's from Baltimore, and people in Baltimore know how to scrap. So I think I'll just give it to Angela just based off of that.
But yeah, I'm giving it to Rockstar as well. I think she's someone who also just, I mean, look, not on her daughter's birthday. You know what I mean? We've seen her in action, whereas like Maddie to me just like doesn't have that same fight. So I got to go Rockstar here for sure.
Well, what they need to do is her coach needs to like glue a mask of Brett onto Maddie's face, and so like that'll send Rockstar into a frenzy, and she'll just tear into her.
That's how she trained, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, on the punching bag.
Yes. Okay, next fight. Hamza versus Jose. I'm also very excited
doing
for
in this.
Look, he took his time on the challenge, okay, and now he's back for some BB boxing. Jose's gonna get his butt beat, right?
No, all the way around.
You think the other way around?
I'm scared for Hamza. When I saw this matchup, I was like, ooh, because Jose has such a temper, and I just feel like
that's true.
I just feel like he's just gonna be ferocious in this. So yeah, I'm not saying that it's gonna be a landslide. I think it'll be a good fight, but I think Jose is gonna take it. I don't know, like Hamza. Like, I mean, I love Hamza. He's a really cool guy, but I don't know if he's as I need for him to be in this fight. I'm a little scared. I'm scared.
I think this is going to be the fight with the most cheap punches thrown in both directions. Hamza is the king of chaos, right? That's his nickname. So like, I could absolutely imagine someone, him just like throwing in a couple of punches here and there. But yeah, I don't know. I think I got to give it to Jose. I'm not sure why, but like, dude can hustle, right? You don't fake date Jeffree Star if you don't want clout. And so I think like what Jose has been able to accomplish from like
not
a
to
mental...
mention the Zach Brandtness of it all
exactly
as well.
Like what he's been able to do from a career perspective, if he brings that to the physical ring, I think he's got a very good shot at just like completely demolishing Hamza here.
Yeah, that's true. I think you guys have convinced me. I think I just like my last memory of Jose was him misspelling the word bitch in confessional in the challenge. So like that for some reason is my defining memory of him. But this is all flooding back.
I mean, if
I
it
think
was a spelling bee, then yeah, I think he loses. But
was that listed as part of the stats? Like lost with 0 spelling or lost every spelling bee, 0 wins.
Yeah, how many spelling comps were won between these guys?
Oh man. All right. The next matchup is Michael from BB Can 8, which we all remember BB Can 8.
I think it was one of the rare. I think he actually was the only person evicted.
Yes.
Like
BB Can
actually evicted. Yes.
Everyone else either
correct.
walked or was ejected or the show ended.
Yes, that is correct. So the one evictee from BB Can 8 versus Caleb, Beast Mode Cowboy, who is here apparently.
I mean, so we know Beast Mode Cowboy is the master of the Judy chop, but is he a master of the Judy punch?
Oh God.
And is he gonna say it as he punches?
Judy chop.
Judy punch.
Yeah.
So I mean, Michael's definitely got some height here, but I feel like I mean, they're both 190. And now I'm realizing that the height doesn't even seem to matter. I guess they're going more by weight because he's in 192 and Caleb is 190. But I feel like Caleb definitely has a bit more of a fighter's build. I feel like Mike is just a little bit like more on the taller, lankier side. And so I feel like Caleb might have it here, but I feel like there's like so little that we know about Mike because we only got to see him for like 3 weeks and that was it. So like I don't know. I could really be underselling Mike here. So maybe I'll just give it to Canada for now. Just because if he does end up winning, I'll feel good about that prediction.
I mean, now Caleb did push himself to the point of exhaustion. So does
that's
that
the thing is I think what Michael needs to do to win, go up to that thermostat and crank it up to like 100 degrees.
To a sensible 174 degrees.
Exactly. And just Caleb's like, oh no, not again. And then he'll just like give up in that moment. And you know what? Someone especially like, oh, you know what? Salt and pepper's on the line. Don't you want to fight me for it?
That's what I was going to say. Tell him he's competing for salt and pepper. And maybe that'll
tell him that you're not going to eat that damn pickle. It'll just send him spiraling.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Yeah, bring out a bunch of pickles.
Or do you think Caleb's going to approach Michael and be like, I'm sitting this one out, and he like sits on the ground, like, you have to fight this one yourself.
Like against myself?
Knock yourself out, bitch.
Wearing a Ravens jersey.
Yeah,
knock yourself out. Oh my God. Okay, yeah, I don't know. Well, so Mike, you gonna give it to Caleb then?
I'm gonna give it to Beast Mode Cowboy here. I think he is. I think he's a little rascally, and I feel like Michael. I feel like he doesn't necessarily have that in him. So I don't know. I feel like Beast Mode Cowboy, if he wants something, he is gonna pursue it. We know that much, and so I think he's gonna bring that to the fight and then some.
All right, I think I'm gonna use the same logic that I did previously, which is I would love for Caleb to get his ass beat. So I think I'm gonna say Caleb will win because then if Michael wins, I'll be happy and the whole world is joyous. All right. Almost done. The 7th fight. I can't believe there's 9 fights, but that's besides the point.
Wow.
The 7th fight is Adam Pike and Josh Martinez.
Oh, the goof is getting wrecked. Let this be clear. The goof is done. R.I.P. goof.
When I saw Josh was involved, this is what I was like, yes. Yes.
I love Josh. I really do. I remain a champion for him when many people have abandoned him for his antics on TV. I guess it's just I have a flair for personality types like his. With that being said, he had no business signing up for this fight. He had no business signing up for this fight. And whoever was the organizer of this, Adele, if you were the one that matched Adam Pike up with Josh, then you also have something against Josh, and this is a this is a setup. This is a setup.
Is there a handicap though? Does Josh get to come in with pots and pans? Does he get help that much?
Yeah, he gets props. Like, forget the metal chair. You get pots and pans. Oh God. I mean, yeah, my money's on Adam, absolutely. Unless the handicap rule is in play, but I don't think it is. So
I would never forget I'm sorry, I'll never get like that moment on feeds when like I forget what was going on in the game, but I think Sam was getting evicted or whatever, and Adam was really upset about it or something like that. And he just goes into that secret CIA room and just grabs that box and just unadulterated rage. I was like, I want no parts. I don't want to watch this fight. I will strictly just read the updates, and whatever happens, happens. I still love Josh, but I don't think this is not the battle that I want to. No.
Josh is known on the challenge for starting fights that he knows that people won't fight him on because they'll get removed. This is karma, I think. Like, you talk a lot of shit saying, punch me, you won't punch me. You're getting punched, Josh. And it might not be from Devin or from CT, but it's not going to be great, buddy.
Yeah. He's getting what he asked for, I guess, technically, eventually, sort of.
I am so afraid. Oh my God.
I'm excited. Okay.
Oh my God. It's just like I can already see somebody like splicing together the clips of him fighting Mark in BB19, and Mark finally just has had it. He gets up, grabs the pan, and then it just gets spliced into a knockout punch from Adam. Like, I can already see it happening, and I'm gonna be lights out too.
It's like what we would have seen if they hadn't cut feeds at that exact moment in BB Can 19. Like, that's what we would have seen. Oh my God, beauty!
That's probably one of the most epic feed cuts in Big Brother history.
Yeah, that was like, dude.
Oh, you can't hit me! You can't hit me! Cut.
Oh my God, I remember that like it was yesterday because I did that was my night to cover feeds, and I did the morning update the next day, and it was just like the most ridiculous update I've ever done in my whole life. What a mess.
I should go back and watch the updates for Big Brother 19 because I'm sure those are a trip, man.
Oh my God. Well, let's actually, maybe instead of pots and pans, if he can sneak in a cup of like hot sauce and orange juice. And remember that thing he threw in Mark's face, or Mark threw in his face? I can't remember who did what to who.
Yeah, that like mixture or whatever.
Like a nice little spicy mix on the gloves and just try to get Adam in the eye.
There you go. Yeah, hope that he then like gets distracted. Okay, well, there's another fight that I'm also, well, I mean, I'm excited again. I'm excited for all of them. But the, I guess, co-main event is John Party versus Fessy. His nickname was just Fessy, but it should have been Fessy Fitness because we all know the classic app Fessy Fitness that no longer I think
John
exists.
Party's nickname is the Fessy Hunter. That is incredible.
Like, he is trolling him so hard. I love it. I love it.
So that being said, I think John Party looks. This is a boxing event, but he looks the most like a wrestler. Like, with his long quarantine hair, he kind of looks like the Undertaker. I mean, this is the story of Fessy, though, right? If we're going back to if you've been watching the challenge, because people are like, oh yeah, Fessy's like strong but dumb. No, the challenge has now written the narrative that like Fessy is completely full of himself and dumb. And so I think that is going to be a bad combination for Fessy. I think he is someone who's like, I don't need to train for this. I'm Fessy. I don't need to do a thing. And John Party is just going to like send him careening out of the ring.
I'm Fessy.
I legitimately think that's his inner monologue. Like, nobody can take me in the arena. I'm Fessy.
I mean,
I don't know about this one.
He's like training, like, because he's kind of like in the challenge world, right? So he's like kind of keeping up fitness, right? Because of the challenge. And that is like, especially, I mean, now, like, it's just so physically challenging. So I would say, I would give it to Fessy here. But I mean, they seem to be pretty evenly matched, and who knows how this could go.
I just feel like John is just really strong.
Yeah.
Like one of those strong people that doesn't even have to work at it. They just are because of the genetic makeup of them. Like, this is a big man. He is 6'5". Like, I still remember looking at him and Netta on feeds together, and Netta would be like on her tippy toes to hug him. Like, so he's just a big guy. And Fessy's not that much small. He's 6'3". It's, you know, 2 inches. What is that in the grand scheme of things? But I
mean, John weighs 15 pounds more than Fessy. I agree. I think that Fessy has like slimmed down a bit because of the challenge. If he was more so in the football build, maybe this would be a contest.
Okay.
But remember, John was a former hockey player, and they're supposed to be built like brick walls.
That's true. That's true.
I don't know. You kind of convinced me though about Fessy though, Liana. This one's the hardest one for me. You know, I'm going to go with my first inclination. I'm going to say John Party.
Okay, that's fair. That's
Never
fair. And
tardy
Mike,
to
are
the
you going to go
party.
with John also?
I'm going to go with John Party. I'm never tardy to the
Okay.
party.
Never. Okay. Our final fight of the night is Plur herself.
Plur?
Yes.
I forgot
Plur,
about that.
who I didn't even recognize in the picture, versus Casey.
Ooh.
Casey Cool Hands Clark, to
Oh,
be 100%
Jesus
clear.
Cool Hands.
Yeah.
Not the K cool. Ew.
With the K, Cool Hands, Casey Cool Hands Clark.
This sounds like the nickname that Casey came up for himself in like 12th grade jazz band. I'm like, I'm Cool Hands Clark. Watch me play this lick.
Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's some
Casey
Cool Hands.
Yeah, so look, there's a big height difference between them.
Yeah.
So Plur is 5'5", Casey's 5'9". Casey's a beast, man.
We're not even calling her. Her name is Plur. Her name's not
Yeah.
Veronica
Oh,
anymore.
sorry.
Plur.
Are we... Yeah, that's how I remember Plur. It's Plur, so it's fine. I'm going Casey. I'm going Casey, and like you can't even change my mind.
No, I think Casey, yeah, she is absolutely like, I think unlike Fessy, she is like someone who's very stable and strong. Maybe you get her distracted by talking about the Nintendo controller she still has tattooed on her arm, but I think Plur is being sent to the ER after this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't think there's much competition here. Casey, I mean, the girl is ripped. Like it just is what it is here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. All right. Sorry, Plur. All right. So that does it for the matchup. So we'll see. I think it's happening this Friday, the 6th.
That's going to be an interesting.
6th.
You know what? Definitely was just talking trash about this thing. I probably wasn't going to watch, but now this conversation has made me kind of consider buying this.
Right? I know, right?
Got the, and now I believe there's a ring team, right? I believe Peter Brown is giving commentary.
I think so.
Peter Brown giving commentary on boxing. Your wishes have been granted.
That's all I've ever wanted. Okay, so yes. All right, so that does it for this. It's coming up. Let's watch it. We'll revisit in several weeks, I guess, when we come back for the B&B if we remember that it existed. But I'm looking forward to it. Okay, the last thing I have to talk about for the BB BB and C is Julie. Okay, well, no, I don't even know how to start this story. So I don't know if either of you. Well, Mike, I know because I have mentioned it to Mike, and I have not seen Brent in a particular hoodie since he has been evicted. But Aman, I don't know if you noticed, but both Travis and Frenchie have been seen wearing the exact same hoodie. It's this like tie-dye hoodie thing. It's super subtle. The only reason I saw it is because of this like random Reddit post that was like, how are they both wearing the same clothes? So I did a little bit of digging. Miss Julie Chen Moonves apparently 2 months ago tweeted something saying her caption, this was on Instagram, and it was a picture of people wearing hoodies. And the caption said, so I've been working on something, ... at Faith Center Co. # Faith Center Co. coming soon, star emoji. Turns out that both Travis and Frenchie were wearing Faith Center Co. hoodies. So the logical assumption here is that Julie Chen has created a hoodie line and is now giving out hoodies to the evicted house guests. That's the theory. That's the gossip that I'd love to start this whole like discussion about. So here we are.
I guess now that you're no longer getting checks for both Big Brother and the talk, you have to now hawk 90s tie-dye hoodies on the side to Big Brother house guests.
and they are very expensive. So one of the hoodies, the tie-dye one, I think that she's giving out is $88.
What?
It's $88, and it just looks like a generic tie-dyed hoodie. It
That's
just
like,
says
that's what you pay for like a nice ass meal. You are getting this tie-dye hoodie with stenciled like "Love My Faith" or whatever they put on there. For
$88 for a hoodie.
Yes, it is.
That had better cuddle me at night. Like I better
Mhm.
feel loved in that. Are you kidding me?
I mean, I don't know. Obviously, we'd have to ask Travis or Frenchie because they're the ones that have been wearing them. But so she's got like a few different products. Now there's a faithcenterco.com website where you can peruse the various products, which most of them just say like Faith Center, like whatever. What I'm the most excited for is I would love for her to put those ending sign-off lines on her hoodies, like "Be the Good" on a t-shirt, on a hoodie.
No, I want Be the Good booty shorts personally. I want all my Julie Chen shine offs printed across my ass for me to show off at the beach. Like, yeah, I'll be the good.
Those would definitely sell. Ironically, they would definitely sell. I might buy one too.
I love it. Anyway, that was something that anyone who I've talked to that knows about Big Brother, I'm like, did you see this? Did you see this? That Julie Chen is giving out.
So was that the thing that he like gave? I think Frenchie gave his away. I think I saw like a go ahead.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that later.
Oh, wow.
As far
okay.
as I know,
we'll
he hasn't given
an
away the
ROI
hoodie.
on that?
As far as I know, he hasn't given away the hoodie yet, but he is giving away other products on eBay that he's raising money for charity.
Okay.
That we'll talk about.
So that is wild, because I do believe that. So the All-Stars last year, right? Didn't they get like, they got a care package from Julie Chen, but I don't think anything was branded in there specific to her. They just got a Bible and like some other paraphernalia. This is very specifically, hey, I'm putting out a clothing line, though I guess clothing line is in a very generous term.
Yeah.
One piece of clothing, literally something you could put up on a clothing line. Here, take it and I guess advertise, free advertising that people will catch you on the way home wearing my sweatshirt.
You know, Julie is just really on her Christian kick right now, which, you know, is fine. Everybody is at liberty to be as religious or non-religious as they please. It's just interesting that it all came now after the departure. You know what? We don't have to get into it. It's a little strange. It just gives us a little bit of a weird vibe. But you know what? It's generally harmless. So, you know, hey girl, toss your tie-dye wherever you need.
You proselytize all those former house guests. You go for it.
but I honestly think we are only a stone's thrown away from Julie being like, okay, Whitney, thank you for coming on. We're going to have your extended interview. If you could just please walk through the baptismal pool and you'll come back and sit down, then we can talk some more. Like, I think we are legitimately going to get there at some point.
And if you could then eat this cracker and drink this
worse and worse and worse.
Then,
yeah, it just keeps going down the slope until it's just church. Until it's just Julie
the Big Brother house just becomes a church. That's what the edifice is going to look like. There's like a little gathering outside. It's just going to be a mess.
Let us pray.
Exactly.
All right, that's all I got.
Amazing. That's so incredible. I can't wait to see. I guess we'll see like from Whitney or from Brent if that continues to be the case, or maybe more merchandise is going to be schlepped out if she wants to vary it up, if she gets inspired. So we have a couple games as this is the B&B. I'm going to start with one that was sent to me by Matt. Of course, you can send us any games if you have an idea to rhapbnb@gmail.com. So Matt wrote,
who?
Why not Yahoo?
I know I said by Matt.
Matt who?
Oh, just Matt.
Oh, just a random Matt. Okay.
Just a random Matt.
I thought it was my buddy.
Yeah, no, not a particular Matt. So Matt, not your partner on the choir room. But he wrote in and said, I wanted to shoot you a game idea. Most of the house guests were sitting by the pool on feeds, and this was written on July 18th, mid-Frenchie, and they had a favorite movie discussion. Oof. Piggybacking off of Melissa's movie beef with Kyland, it might be fun to give someone a multiple choice quiz or something on the house guest's favorite movie. So here's what I opted to do. So I have about like 11 or so favorite movies of the house guests. At this point, we're talking, they're all in the game. at this point. So actually, it's not applying to the evicted house guests. But I figured what I can do is we'll actually go team by team if that's easier. I'm going to give you however many movies for that team, and you two can work together to match the movies to the house guests. So again, these are going to be the house guests' favorite movies. You have to figure out if you can identify the person based on their favorite movie. And this, of course, goes back to the infamous one-sided rivalry between Melissa Denny and Kylan over his absolute love of movies, to the point where he's seen every Best Picture winner in the past 20 years.
I mean, we talked about celebrity, Big Brother fights. I want this fight to continue. I want somebody to advise Kylan on all the crap that Melissa was talking, and I want them to go at it whenever he gets out of the house. I need to see it.
Edit all those clips together.
Yeah, exactly.
Just send them all.
Kylan, welcome out of the house. You played such a great game. Here's someone talking shit about you 3 days before the game started about your knowledge of movies.
Exactly, and that's the beauty, is it has literally nothing to do with the 100-day game that he just played. Right?
Exactly.
It's like, this is only your movie prowess.
All right, so let's see how your movie prowess is, if it measures up to Kylan or even Melissa's. So give me a team. Which team do you want to start with?
With the Jokers, because they're Jokers.
How does this work?
So, all right. So I'm going to say 2 of the Jokers identified their movies. So you have to pick for me which Jokers apply to these 2 movies. So one Joker said their favorite movie was Mary Poppins. Another one said it was One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Oh my God, those are like so different.
Okay,
wait. Frenchie's out of the game, right? So
yes, it's not. I will say it's not Frenchie.
It's not Frenchie.
It's got to be Big D, Azza, or Brittany. Or you have to pick 2 out of the 3 here.
Look, Mary Poppins. First of all, Mary Poppins is a long ass film. Okay, it's long.
It's very long. It's like 2 hours, I think. I recently showed it to my son earlier this year. Yeah, it goes for quite some time. They get into a lot of shenanigans.
Yeah, I don't see Big D liking Mary Poppins.
I don't know. There's a lot of furniture stuff that needs to be cleaned. So it's just like, oh, I like that bed that's floating.
A lot of day beds, yeah. And One Flew. I haven't even seen that movie. What is that movie about? I know it's a famous one, but I can't even think about it.
So it takes place in an insane asylum. Jack Nicholson stars in it.
Okay.
What
are you thinking, Liana?
When I first heard Mary Poppins, my first thought was Brittany. And I don't know whether or not I should trust my just like raw gut instinct based on literally nothing. But that was the first thought that I had.
It has to be Brittany, because I'm pretty sure I heard her singing some show tunes in the house last week. And that is like the closest thing that it can be. If it's not Brittany, I'll be very surprised that Azza is out here repping Mary Poppins, because I refuse to believe that it's Big D. It has to be. All right.
Brittany. So what's your choice for One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest then?
Oh my God. So it's like a heavy. So I've never seen the movie, but I've read the book, and like it's like heavy shit. And I don't know. I mean, do you feel like that's something that Derek would like, Big D would be into? Because otherwise, like my gut was saying Azza, but I don't know.
Is it like a intellectual movie as well?
Kind of, yeah. I would say it's probably more on that spectrum.
Because that would give me, and not to say that Derek is like
won
an
a bunch
idiot
of
or
awards,
anything.
I think too.
I'm gonna go with That's the thing. Yeah, not to say that Derek is just an uncultured person. He just doesn't really give me that type of energy where he's like saying like, yeah, Jack Nicholson, that's my shit. Like, I just don't see him doing that.
Like, mental institutions. Let's go.
I mean, to be fair, they were on a team with Frenchie, so that they lived through one.
Well, yes, that is true. He was the Nurse Ratched, I think, of the.
I'm gonna go with Azza. It's One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest and Mary Poppins for Brittany.
All right, let's lock it in. Agree? Yeah, I agree with that. Let's lock it in.
You are correct. 2 for 2.
Boom!
Yay!
Yes!
And, now I think we unlocked the thing is, if Brittany's nominated, she just wanted a spoonful of sugar, and no one gave that to her, and that's why she was so angry when she got nominated.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Medicine go down. That's my jam.
All right, so give me
That's
another
my
team here.
jam.
Kings, queens, and aces. Who do you want to go to next?
Ooh,
What do you wanna do?
I want to save my baby DX for last. So let's skip the
Okay.
aces. Let's
Okay.
do, assuming he was one of the people that gave us an answer.
Yes, actually, I know I said there was no evicted people, but we actually got ones for all 4 aces. So yeah, all 4 aces will be right here.
Yay! You want to do Kings?
Yeah, let's do the Kings.
All right, I've got 3 movies for you for the Kings, which, as we remember, are Alyssa, Christian, Sarah Beth, and Xavier.
Mhm.
We have Inception, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, specifically the 2005 Johnny Depp version.
Okay.
Shoot.
And Rush Hour 2.
I remember I remember reading an update on Twitter one day about Inception, but I cannot remember who it was. But I remember that specifically.
And I remember the Charlie and the Chocolate. Like, there was a conversation they had about Charlie and the Chocolate Factory because someone's never seen it. Oh my God, crap.
Okay, so who's Kings again? It's Sarah Beth.
Alyssa, Christian, Sarah Beth, and Xavier.
Okay, the movies were Rush Hour 2, specifically Rush Hour 2.
Specifically Rush Hour 2.
Okay,
Inception and Johnny Depp, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yes.
Black people love the Rush Hour series. Okay, so I feel like
so you want to go
Xavier might be Rush Hour 2 because we just love, we go up for Chris Tucker.
Yeah. Okay, so if we want to do Xavier for Rush Hour, then who do you think is like a Johnny Depp fan? I don't know why Alyssa does Alyssa seem like specifically a Johnny Depp fan? No, Sarah Beth perhaps.
One of them didn't give an answer. I feel like my brain is, I don't know if it's the memory formalizing in my brain or I'm just like incepting myself. But I feel like it was Christian that talked about Inception.
Or did
I remember,
or
did he not? Or was he the one that didn't see it?
That's what I was trying to remember. I was like, I swear Christian was involved in one of these movie conversations, but I can't remember if he's the one who never saw Charlie and the Chocolate Factory or it was his favorite movie. It's like one of the two, and unfortunately, that doesn't help at all.
Binary,
whatsoever. Yeah.
Christian is a bit on the childlike side, so it wouldn't surprise me if he liked Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
You think he would like Rush Hour 2?
Maybe it was him. Maybe Xavier likes Inception. I mean, Xavier is a lawyer. He's a bit of an intellectual too. And that movie is very much.
Because that's the thing. I'm trying to put Inception with one of them. Maybe Sarah. Oh my God. Whatever. All right. Let's okay. All right. Okay. All right. Your gut. What's your gut telling you?
Yeah, Brent. What's your gut say?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say you swayed me, Liana. I'm gonna say Christian liked Rush Hour 2, but Christian was also one of the people that didn't see the other movie, so we can which I guess doesn't really matter at that point. I'm gonna say Sarah Beth liked Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, which leaves
and then
Inception
Xavier. Okay, and then Alyssa just didn't give an answer.
Yes.
Okay.
Right, so from that perspective, you are 2 for 4. Alyssa did not answer.
Damn.
And Xavier did say Inception, but Christian loves Johnny Depp, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Okay, so
which
he did
makes him
see
an objective monster. Just by comparison, like you're gonna compare the Gene Wilder film to the Johnny Depp film and prefer the Johnny Depp version. What is wrong with you?
But that's why, like, maybe he hadn't seen the Gene Wilder version, and then that's why he liked I don't know. This is the Berenstain Bears effect or whatever, the Mandela effect. Like, I'm just making stuff up now that it's being asked to me. So I have no idea.
And of course, that leaves naturally Sarah Beth's favorite movie is Rush Hour 2.
Rush Hour 2.
Classic.
It's a good one.
Sarah Beth. Okay. Queens.
Let's do the Queens next. So this is again Claire, Kyland, and Tiffany.
Mm-hmm.
So we have Clue and Hitch.
Hitch as in Will Smith Hitch?
Hitch is in the movie that Liana one time watched all of after it aired after Drag Race.
Really? You got sucked into the movie after Drag Race?
I did. I got sucked. It was like one of those ones, like they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
So one did not answer. One said Clue. One said Hitch.
I've
Oh
never
my
seen Clue.
gosh. The only thing it's it's murder mystery, right? So I'm trying to think of who on that team.
That seems like a
Like
Claire
all of
answer to me.
them. Oh, you think Claire? Yeah. It could be Claire. And then you think Kylan like Hitch?
Or did Tiffany like Hitch? Because of the Will Smith factor of it all.
Yeah, it could be Tiffany.
Kyland is a bit of a romantic, and Hitch is a rom-com.
It is. Okay, so all right, do you want to lock in Claire for Clue?
Or maybe it
What
is
if
Tiffany for
Kylan liked Clue?
I don't know.
This goes to show we've been watching these house guests for what, like 20-something days, and
but this is hard.
I know we know so little.
They're all so multifaceted.
And they're
They
all
could all like Clue. They could all like Rush Hour 2.
I know. They could all like Hitch.
Okay, can we? Okay, I'll say Kyland liked Hitch, and Claire liked Clue.
Okay, all right, that was your gut. We'll stick with it.
I'm glad you stuck with it because that is correct.
Yes!
So yeah,
Oh my God,
Mr.
that's amazing.
Self-proclaimed movie buff Kyland said his favorite movie is Hitch, and he says, Matt, as in parentheses, to be fair, he said picking a favorite movie would be like picking a favorite child, but this is the movie he watches the most.
So the child who watched the most. Screw the other children.
Yeah.
He also would have watched it after Drag Race. That's good to know. Okay. All right, so that leaves the aces. So I hope
this is the hardest one because we have all 4 aces and we have 4 movies here. So Brent is still in the picture with these pictures. We have Good Will Hunting, You've Got Mail, The Dark Knight, and Troy. And remember, you are choosing between Brent, Hannah, Derek X, and Whitney. Yes, Troy, the Brad Pitt, Eric Bana Greek film from 2003, I want to say, is someone's favorite 2004. Movie.
I've only seen one of these movies. Troy, The Dark Knight, You've Got Mail, and what else?
And Good Will Hunting.
What the hell is You've Got Mail?
Is a Meg Ryan, like
Meg Ryan, Tom Hanks, like secret pen pals writing emails to each other.
I've seen trailers for that on like old VHSs.
My gut was that Whitney would be You Got Mail fan. Like she just that just aligned with my fantasy. But then I feel that she could also be like, oh, I like to watch Troy because of the hotties. So I'm having a tough time picking one.
I do think, not to be stereotypical, but I do think that one of the girls liked You've Got Mail.
Okay, Good Will Hunting also seems like the type of movie that Brett would want to say to like seem like he sounds smart, and like seems intellectual. He's like,
yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, I just Dead Poet Society, Good Will Hunting. Those are like my favorite movies.
Something about The Dark Knight is really resonating with me for Derek X. It's also the most. It's the latest of those films, and Derek X is the youngest out of that crowd. So I feel like it stands.
Wasn't
to reason
Hannah?
Hannah's in it.
Hannah's there. Hannah's there too. Yeah.
Okay, what if maybe
is
Brent
Hannah watching Troy?
Okay, what if Brent watches Troy because it's like. It's not medieval necessarily, but it's definitely like archaic war.
There's not an ounce of electricity in that movie.
All right, that's it. I think that's a solid read. I think that's it.
Okay, so let's say we assign The Dark Knight with Derek and then Troy to Brent. And so then what are the 2 movies we've left? You Got Mail.
Good Will Hunting and You Got Mail.
Oh, and Good Will Hunting. Whitney could like Good Will Hunting. And then Hannah would pick You've Got Mail. But she's so young. Like, would she have seen you in it?
And it came out 2 years. She was born 2 years after it came out.
Yeah, but Good Will Hunting also. When is that? When did that? It's also it's 1997.
Yeah. Which one is more famous? Good Will Hunting or You've Got Mail?
I think Goodwill Hunting, like
That was the one that really put like Matt Damon and
Ben Affleck on the map.
But I would say that
You've Got Mail shows up more on syndicated
You've Got
television.
Mail sort of has that hitch thing of like it's something people put on the most and watch. I would say more so. No one's gonna sit down and be like, I'm gonna crack into some Goodwill Hunting on a rainy day today.
I feel like Whitney likes that.
She likes Goodwill Hunting.
You've Got Mail.
Okay, yeah, that was my gut feeling too.
So is Hannah really sitting out there watching Goodwill Hunting? Or is Derek X doing that? But Hannah's, she's has a lot of interests and hobbies, so maybe.
This is like tough because once you assign one and you're wrong, then you're like,
yeah, you're screwed.
Yeah.
I'll take it as a personal victory if I get DX right. That's all I care about.
Okay, so then of the 4 options, are you sure on the Dark Knight for Derek X?
I just feel like that's like, I just feel like that's him.
Okay. Okay.
I'll be so devastated if I'm wrong.
All right, so we're gonna lock in the 2 boys. Let's put You've Got Mail with Whitney, and let's put Goodwill Hunting with Hannah.
Okay.
All right. So let me read here.
Did we get any of them correct?
Well, let me start on your best read.
No.
Brent's favorite movie is Troy.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Uh-oh. Is that where
Whitney's favorite movie is You've Got Mail.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Amon?
Oh
no. Light a candle. Derek X's favorite movie is Goodwill Hunting.
The one he can't post about.
And Hannah's favorite movie is The Dark Knight.
Yeah, You've Got the Goodwill Hunting. I was like, is Hannah watching that? But I don't know. It just, the grittiness of The Dark Knight it just felt like Derek X would be into that, and I'm sure he probably is, just not his favorite.
Yeah, not his favorite.
It's a second favorite.
You all did a really good job, I think, matching these up for the most part. So now we get to know these contestants a little more. You can tell a lot with a person by their favorite movie, including judging them. So congratulations to you both for doing as well as you did, trying to figure out which movie these house guests love.
Do you guys have a favorite movie?
Mine is Wet Hot American Summer.
Oh my God, I love Wet Hot American Summer.
Yeah.
That's tough. The movie I watched the most as a kid was Labyrinth, the weird John Henson, David Bowie movie. But otherwise I would put like something with Tim Robbins, so like Shawshank Redemption or Hudsucker Proxy, or like my Coen brothers nerdy movies.
What about you, Amon?
I've got 2, which kind of cheating, but I kind of get away with it because one of them is animated and the other one is live action. Life of Pi is my favorite live action film.
Okay.
I think it's just the most gorgeous piece of storytelling known to man. And my favorite animated film is Sleeping Beauty. I have abused that VHS to the cows come home.
Old school.
It is the Disney film that I know by heart. It rests within my soul. It's just no matter what, I can never escape it. There are other movies that I will always love, but that is the core of my Disney heart. So yeah, those 2.
Mine was The Lion King 2.
The direct-to-DVD one?
No,
Simba's Pride.
Yes, the one with the hottie.
Kovu.
So
the hottie? They're lions.
Yeah. Look, I want to talk about it.
She's like, yeah, Aunt.
Oh my God. Well, no, I think, Lamont, you're in good company. I believe Brent's favorite Disney movie is Sleeping Beauty as well, but I think for different reasons.
It's so gorgeous. Oh my God, I just got that.
No, my favorite is Aladdin, though. I think Beauty and the Beast is objectively the best one, but Robin Williams is the genie, gets my energy so hard. So I think you can tell a lot about a person by their favorite movie. I can't believe Brent's favorite movie is Troy. That is incredible.
It's oh my God. Of course, but this goes back to what Amon was saying at the beginning of the podcast, where it's I'm shocked that Brent is a real human that lives in the world. Troy is not an acceptable answer for anyone's favorite movie at any time. It's like when you're trying to write an SNL skit and you're like, what should this douchebag's favorite movie be? Oh yeah, how about that? Do you guys remember that movie from 2004? Yeah. Okay. Anyway. All right. Let's play our next game. So this is something that we kind of touched on with the whole giving away the hoodie thing. So Amon, you mentioned this, and this is something we've seen other players do, where they will donate items or video chats or whatever to donate money for charity. So typically it's like Give Kids the World. And so Frenchie got out of the house and did exactly the same thing. So he put 4 of his items up on eBay, where all of the proceeds would go to Give Kids the World. So I have some questions for you both about these particular items. And this is, some of the questions are Price's Rourke style. Some of them are just a little bit more generic, but that is what we have here.
Can I ask, first of all, is this surprising to anyone? Did we peg Frenchie as the type to pawn these things off, albeit for a good cause, but like, do we think he would have been that Big Brother contestant initially to come off and say like, all right, here's my stuff, take my overalls?
Part of me feels like he's the type of fan that planned his whole Big Brother game out and after Big Brother. Like he knew, he was like, and then after the show, you do the signings and you do the Give Kids the World and you do, you know, all of those events. So I can imagine him being like prepared to do that when he got out of the show.
Which is like discouraging for me. Like look, everybody is at liberty to do whatever they want to do. But I was just sort of like super excited that one of our own, Big Brother Twitter, you know, was going to be on the show. And it just kind of saddens me that he didn't really just have just allow, like, obviously have agency in the game, have agency in your experience, but also just have fun too. I feel like this wasn't very fun for him. I feel like it was just so intense all the time. Somebody like tweeted, it's like being like big, his HOH was really like an event, like you buy a ticket for. It's like, get HOH-itis. Put 2 people on the block that you said that you wouldn't put on the block. Like just all the things that you can do, he did, and it just feels very like formulaic. I'm like, this is not how it should be, but whatever.
Can I also say, in my opinion, I think totally to you know. To remind people what we said in the beginning, like I really enjoy this cast, just watching them play together. That being said, I think the 2 most iconic people, as in people that will be discussed in Big Brother circles for years and years to come from this season, will be Tiffany and will be Frenchie. I think
for polar opposite reasons.
For polar opposite reasons, but I think infamy, like there's a reason why we talk so much about Devin Shepard, even 7 years later, right? Like infamy is still notoriety from a certain perspective. And so I do think Frenchie, for many, many reasons, was a cautionary tale for all Big Brother players. And I think there's going to be a lot of talk, even starting with Big Brother 24, right? People being like, remember Frenchie? I can't believe he did that.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah. Oh my God. I think it's just that he's never going to live that down. Like that's just going to live forever in Big Brother.
Nor should he. So. It was the most wild week of feeds I have ever seen in my life, and it is solely due to him.
That is so true. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, speaking of his legacy, it will also live on under these 4 items that he has put on eBay. So first of all, I have a question for both of you. You can work together on this because I'm just so curious. What category do you think these items were listed under on eBay? And I will just tell you, it's not what you think. So
what are the categories in eBay? Are they like comparable to the Amazon ones?
Yeah, I would say they're similar. Let me see. I can read you sort of the when you shop by category, there's collectibles and art, fashion, sporting goods, home and garden, toys, hobbies, other categories, entertainment, memorabilia, electronics, that, you know, those kind of categories.
Okay, so Aman, if it's something that we don't expect, I imagine it's not entertainment memorabilia. Could it be fashion? If it's
sporting goods?
Sporting, it could be. I was actually thinking sporting goods as well, because if it's like, well, I competed in these, so technically it's sporting goods. I think that's what we should go with for whatever Frenchie's cracked logic thinks that these quantify and qualify as sporting goods.
Okay, I love that logic. So it is under merchandise and promotional is the first category. And the second subcategory is bags and backpacks.
What?
I have no idea.
So someone's going to be looking for a backpack for this school year, and they're going to find Frenchie's things.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, that is correct. Why bags and backpacks? I have no idea. There's literally neither a bag nor a backpack in any of the 4 items that he
Yeah, it's
is
just like
getting rid
hidden
of.
in
But
there. It's like you
Ah,
have to really know what you're looking for. to, like,
exactly.
can
find
any of
this
these
stuff.
items be used as an improvised bag or backpack, though? Is
I
this
guess
Frenchie
that's
hinting at
true.
what these should be used for?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could repurpose the overalls to be more backpack like. They do have straps, so
Turn it into a backpack.
I don't know, like wrap it
Little
up. I don't
pouch.
know. Yeah, something like that. All right, well, let's get into some more details about these items. So, Aman, this question is for you. Which of
Mhm.
the 4 items went for the most money? So, the 4 items were a 15-minute Zoom call,
Mhm.
the overalls
That was under
they formed.
backpack. You're
Yeah,
going
the
for a
Zoom call's
backpack.
under backpack. Yeah, the Zoom call.
Talk for to Frenchie for 15 minutes.
That poor school child that is going to end up with a 15-minute call
Well, I
from
can't.
Frenchie instead of a
I have to
backpack.
carry my books by hand, but at least I got to talk to Frenchie for 15
Yeah.
minutes.
It's the only thing we all wanted. Okay, so the Zoom call, the overalls, also his Converse shoes that are signed, and a worn T-shirt that was signed.
What went for the most?
Yes. What do you think of those 4 items went for the most money?
I feel like time is the most valuable, and I feel like he probably put himself above the items. I want to go for the Zoom call.
Okay. So, unfortunately, that is incorrect. It was actually the overalls. The backpack utility, I think, maybe really just like
Wow, yeah, just put it over the
Overalls
edge.
can also be backpack.
Yes, exactly. Well, speaking of the backpack, Mike, how many people do you think bid on those overalls? So we're not talking
Ooh.
individual bids. Like you could have multiple people doing like a bidding war. We're talking like
Right.
distinct individuals that bid on this pair of overalls.
See, this is interesting.
Mhm.
Because admittedly, we as a community kind of clown on Frenchie, but the Big Brother community is vast and expansive. Are there people out there who
Right.
sincerely want this? I think this is a really interesting question. I'm going to say just an even 20 people bid on the overalls.
Okay. So you were a little bit more optimistic. A total of 6 people
Oh,
bid on the overalls. In fact, the item that had the most individual bidders was the Converse shoes at 7.
oh,
So
jeez.
kind of like peaked at 7 there.
So now the question is, I
Um,
don't know if you've done the cross comparison. Was it often the same people?
Ooh, I there's like it gives you like digits, and so I could try to see if I could compare, but no, I don't know. I would guess it's the same
I
people.
mean, digits like a social security number?
Well, it's like you can see the bidding history, and so like this one says 3, and then it like blanks out some of the numbers in the middle V. So I could go see if there's a 3V somewhere because this 3V person did a couple of bids on this particular item.
They want
So
So
the
I
world.
could check
How
it on the
many-
other ones as well.
How many people went for the Zoom call?
Let me see. So for the Zoom call, a total of 6 people bid on the Zoom call
Okay.
for a total of 26 bids. So it kind of went like back and forth a bit.
Okay.
Mhm,
Right.
mhm. Okay. Well, we'll talk a little bit more about the Zoom call in a sec, but I want to talk about the Converse and the t-shirts because both of those items started at $59.99. So now
Wait,
I
a
want to ask
t-shirt?
you. Yeah, the t-shirt, it's signed, Mike.
Oh my
Okay, it's
god. She's
signed.
taking lessons from Julie Chen Moonves.
I know. Faith.co or whatever. So they started at $59.99. What is the current bidding price of the t-shirt? So we can do this Price is Right style. So Aman, you can give what you think first, and then I'll ask Mike, and then I have another question where Mike will go first.
For the
So,
t-shirt,
Aman,
you said?
Yeah, for the t-shirt. What do you think the t-shirt's current price is?
So we have an average of around 6 to 7 people that are bidding on all of these items for varying
Mhm.
degrees of bids. $59.99. I can probably see someone the first bid probably starting around maybe $75. Maybe. And then I can see the bids sort of fizzling out maybe after 4 or 5 bids. So I'm gonna say 150.
Okay, 150. Mike, what do you think?
let me cut that in half and go 75. Because if there are only 6 or 7 people bidding on this, I don't know how much jockeying is really having people be like, and $100. You don't have anyone stepping out of the auction ceremony saying, I'm gonna jack it up right now.
Hey, people pay lots of money for Big Brother people's merchandise, man. So I wouldn't put it past them.
Well, let me tell you, the current bid on the item is $260. So you were closest. Yeah. For that t-shirt, baby. Okay.
So those were like going up in like $25 increments, $30 increments.
I think there were a total of like 6 or 7 people bidding, but I think they like went back and forth a few times. So I think they were willing to raise the price to, get those shoes. Okay. So then the other item, the t-shirt. So the other item is the Converse. Okay. So Mike, what do you think? Again, the Converse, the shoes started at $59.99. What do you think they are at now?
So correct me if I'm wrong here. The Converse has the most people bidding on it.
It's 7 versus 6.
7 versus 6. So not too much, but still a good amount. So I think the Converse are signed or not?
They are signed, yes.
Okay, if they are signed, I think it's going to be more than the t-shirt because I think you could wear that. I would much rather wear signed shoes than a signed shirt. I would wear neither, but I guess the shoes you could use more than the signed shirt. So I'm going to go with, let's say 300 even.
Okay. And Aman, what do you think for the Converse?
301.
Ooh, freezing me out.
Love that. Love the strategy. Unfortunately, you went in the wrong direction because it was actually only $161.50. So interesting value choices here.
The shoes are much more usable than the shirt, people.
Apparently, people disagree with you, Mike.
I feel like with the shirt though, it's easier to display because I doubt people really want to wear it. They just want to have it. And the shirt you can like put up on the wall. Shoes you can kind of still do the same thing, but it's less like showy than a shirt is.
You can like mount it, like frame it, whereas like shoes you got to get like a shadow box, and it's like
you can't frame a shoe.
Yeah, you can't frame a shoe. Well, maybe this is why people were more interested in the t-shirt because Frenchie wrote a phrase as well as his signature on this t-shirt.
God.
So Aman, I'm going to give you 4 phrases and you need to try to guess what the phrase was that was on the t-shirt.
This shirt is dirtier than a pig rolling through the mud.
Nervous than a cat with a room full of rocking chairs and a meathead with a Frenchie in the house.
Hooey, and a mosquito. Okay, so option A is follow your dreams. Option B is expect the unexpected.
Oh, God.
Option C, I'm a man of my word. Or option D, always vote out the meatheads.
No, I don't want that on a shirt.
Signed by Frenchie, Mike.
I'm pretty sure.
A shirt that says always vote out the meathead.
I'm pretty sure this is follow your dreams. I feel like I have a vague memory of him saying that.
That's correct. It says follow your dreams.
Because that was like his big campaign about getting on the show as well. I was just like, I'm going to follow my dream.
Yeah.
I'm not going to stop
sometimes you dream you went fishing. And you got to follow those.
And you got to catch a big fish. To catch a big fish, you got to put out the bait. All right.
We also say that is the most infamous, I think, nomination speech, probably since Victims Aren't We All, right? Like, I know the Sam BB21 was pretty iconic, but that one instantly became iconic with, specifically starting with, I had a dream.
I had a dream. Oh, Frenchie, classic Frenchie. Okay, well, Mike, this final question is for you. And I think you're already mathematically eliminated, but you can try to do your best on this one. So we talked about this, the 15-minute Zoom call. Which 15-minute Zoom call went for more money? So was it either the call with Big Brother star Frenchie or the call with Big Brother star David Alexander?
Oh,
we got a head-to-head battle here between the two stars.
I think it's got to be David. I think it's David no matter what. I think what we have learned is that Frenchie's making a lot of money, but there's a certain subset of people that are going after it, I think David has much wider appeal than Frenchie did right after coming out of the house. So I gotta think it's David.
All right. I got news for you. No one cares about David Alexander because he has 0 bids on his Zoom call. If you'd like to bid, it's only $24.99 and the proceeds go to charity. So I recommend that versus Frenchie's, which is at $159.50. A little bit of just a teeny tiny difference between the two.
Damn, I feel like I need to put a bid on David's video, man. Y'all doing him dirty out here.
Yeah, just talk about using that disruptor power for 15 minutes. Man.
There was also Send It Sam. Also had a call. He also had 0 bids.
Well, yeah, given I think again going back to BB21 Twitter drama, I think that is apt. Maybe that's the thing is that because of David's original season affiliation, they're like, we're staying away from BB21.
Yeah, I was like, sorry. We just can't do it. We just can't do it. All right. Well, that's all I have for the quiz, but there was one other item because I was trying to find like other Big Brother paraphernalia that was on sale. I mean, obviously I was in the wrong category because I should have been looking in handbags and purses, right?
That's where all the Big Brother stuff is.
Obviously. But there was one item that caught my eye. It was the Big Brother. This is literally the description on the item. Big Brother 16, period. The hat that Zach owned was torn, ... selling ... brother TV show.
What?
The hat that Zach was torn ... selling brother TV show.
But yes, and it's like the brim. It's like the brim of the pink hat. Let me see. Okay.
The one that Victoria cut up?
Yes. It's like the brim of the hat. All right. I sent it in the StreamYard chat. So it's like in some box, like some mount.
Oh, okay. Box, so they already Frenchied it.
Right. And it looks like it was signed, I think, by Zach Rance and Victoria, or someone who forged their signatures, who like found a pink hat, busted it up a bit.
That's the thing. I think it's got to be the latter, though, right? Because the title of this, frankly, is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be a sentence. The name of the item that you have, and it is right. It's like the dot Big Brother 16. Remember when Zach Rance ripped his hat? Here's the brim. That's the name of the item. It feels like someone is trying to, I think, bogard, hoodwink some BB fans here by cutting up a pink hat and putting it in a box.
It's
what is
weird.
this? Like, why wouldn't it be the hat that Zach owned that was torn? Why is it that the hat that Zach owned was torn?
I think I had more of a problem with the ... brother TV show. We just like left off the second Big Brother like part of that.
Also, why are you writing selling in your title? That's the implication, is that you're selling it.
No
Previously
idea.
On Brother.
On Brother TV show.
What's going for, okay, so there's no bids. All right. So no one has at least fallen for this yet, but it's at $450, which is absolutely ridiculous. And the seller does not accept returns. So
jeez.
Stay away from this one. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, buyer beware. Holy moly. Though I guess I do want the hat that Zach owned was torn ... selling ... brother TV show.
I mean, same. Don't we all?
All right. So let's talk some more BB23 because I have one final game for us to wrap up the B&B here. This comes from via Felipe Shimon. He sent me some intel that a recent video has made its way across the official Big Brother social media channels. And it essentially brands itself as like secrets behind diary room doors, where certain contestants went into the diary room and were asked, what is one secret that you would tell people that people don't know about you? So this is like past the fun facts, past all the stuff in the bio, past the stuff they told the house guests. What's one secret people don't know about you? So this game's going to be super simple. I'm going to give a secret. We're going to go back and forth. You'll each give a guess. And if you get it right, you get a point. I guess before that, though, do any of you have any secrets behind our, B&B diary room doors, things that you have never told anybody before that you'd like people to know?
What kind of question is that? It's
I know
like,
it's very prying,
hey,
right?
like, yeah, hey, so like, we've been having fun and talking and just like joking around, but like open up about your deepest, darkest secret. My deepest, darkest secret, obviously, is that I actually was the one bid that will be putting in for the Big Brother 16 the hat
Oh
that Zach
no,
owned
you'll
was
be
torn
put out on the street.
selling. Yeah. Just giving it up. No, I have no idea what I would share for my secret. Because obviously you're not going to share a real secret. Come on. Like none of these
Sure,
people are sharing real secrets.
I'll share a real secret. I'll be a little
What?
salacious here. I don't care.
I'll share one too.
I will
What?
I will only. I'm not going to go into full detail, but at least the information will be out there. I used to, meaning past tense, no longer. I used to have a crush on somebody at RHAP. I have since gotten over it. How about that?
Oh my God, that's my
Ooh.
secret too.
Yep, people are gonna speculate.
Oh, shut the hell up, Liana.
My secret is I don't know if this is like the correct term. I'm partially colorblind. So I cannot distinguish
Oh.
between shades of like dark green, dark blue, gray, and black. They all look the same to me. And I only found this out recently. So it was a very recently revealed secret, hence why nobody knows about it.
Oh, is it because of
Really?
Among Us? You were like playing Among Us and you were like, oh no.
That's partially it. There would be things like we'd have apparently what's a gray blanket, and I'd be like, oh, the dark green blanket, or like I have a pair of slippers that are apparently navy, but I think they're black. So like it's just bringing that up in conversations. But yeah, I was thinking about this beforehand, obviously, for my own prompt, and I was like, they're actually the three of us have been on so many damn podcasts. I think there's actually very little we have not revealed about ourselves, respectively. So I have to go to like the very recent well to pull something.
Oh my God. I'm trying to even think like what I would like. I'm sure there's things that are like secrets that I've never shared, but just like nothing. I'm like looking around for a secret. Like maybe
I
my
share
room will show me
the
one.
lamp.
All right, I'll think about it. Maybe one will come to me by the end of the game.
All right, well, I'll start with Aman while Liana keeps thinking, but we'll go to Liana if Aman gets it wrong here. So again, I'm going to read a secret. The answer are going to be anyone who's still in the game as of week 4. So we're still counting Whitney in this. So I believe that's 13 people. Anyone but Travis, Frenchie, or Brent. I can only imagine what the secrets of those guys would be. All right, Aman, who said for their secret, I am a huge football fan?
A huge football fan. So maybe it's a girl because a girl wouldn't be stereotypically into football, and if they revealed that they were into football, then it might make them seem more athletic or athletically inclined. Is this Claire?
It is not Claire. Liana, I'll give you a guess.
I will go with Alyssa.
You are both incorrect. It was Hannah, who's a huge football fan.
Okay.
She says, in fact, she's the person that has to explain football to others.
Well, that's girl. In the Hannah mode.
Yeah, you could explain that to me all day. It's gonna go over my head again, but it's fine. I'll have fun listening.
All right, Liana, let's start with you. This time. I went to skydiving school. I have over 10 jumps.
Christian.
That is incorrect. Aman, do you have a guess?
Shucks.
Skydiving school. Who did skydiving and jumped out 10 times? Which I fully endorse, by the way. I went once. It's amazing. I'm gonna go with Whitney.
I'm sorry, it was Kyland. Is the skydiving
he was the other one that was swimming in my mind, but I was like, damn it.
Whitney would have been my second guess too, Aman.
Damn it. All right.
All right. Next up here, we'll start with you, Aman. I can fall asleep at any second.
I mean, I have an obvious answer, but I don't think that's that's not a secret. We know, girl. I mean, would he be that unaware that he would think this is a secret?
That like no one knows, and it's like, oh, this is my secret.
I have to say Derek F. I'm sorry, even if it's not true, I don't care.
It is Derek F.
Yeah. Again, I love the fact that like he thinks it's a secret. We've seen you just lay on that day bed.
Well, here's the other secret he put out there because he had two,
Oh, no.
but I put it out because this was even more obvious than I saw him fall asleep at any second. I love sleeping on the couch instead of my own bed.
Oh my God, that's so funny. That's so funny.
And he also prefaces like they cut to him a few times. The first time he's like, I don't think there's anything you don't know about me because you've seen me. By the way, my two secrets are things that literally everyone sees me doing at any point in time of the day.
Yeah, like 24 hours a day, essentially.
I just love that David is the perfect blend of a couch and bed, so it's just perfect for him. I just love it.
I would not be surprised if he ends up getting one for his own apartment after this. Of like, okay, I found it. I found Excalibur.
His ideal furniture.
All right, Liana. I used to sell worms for money when I was younger. And I will note Frenchie is not an option on this.
Used to sell worms for money. Who has the entrepreneurial spirit? So I know that, I mean, obviously Tiffany has her own business. Derek X also has his own like startup-y thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go with Derek X.
That is incorrect. Aman, do you have a guess?
It's not Derek X. Who is off the board? Derek F is off the board, or is that not even a thing in this quiz?
Yeah, well, we can do that. Yeah, so you can cross off Hannah, cross off Big D,
Whitney.
Cross off Kyland.
Oh yeah, Kyland.
And not Derek X for this one. Selling worms for money. I would assume that they were selling them as bait, which means that they lived probably on a coastal place in the country. But I can't remember where all of them are from, so that's a moot point for me.
I don't know. Use the Jacob Jones geography. Then everyone's from the south.
Maybe Xavier.
I'm sorry, it was Whitney.
Damn it! Oh, that
you were
makes
on
sense.
track there, Liana, with your entrepreneurial spirit. She said that her first show and tell ever was a bag of worms that she brought in.
Wait, I think I remember her talking about that now. Damn it!
Huh. I wish I could get away with that for a show and tell. Is that
I feel like that gets you sent to like the principal's office if you bring a bag of worms into school.
Like, no live creatures, please, in the classroom.
It's a good lesson. Yeah. Just in general for schools, no live creatures aside from humans.
Let's probably just avoid that.
All right, Aman, here's your next secret.
Mm-hmm.
I love to ride horses.
So that was the spirit of the horses also.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good noise.
Claire?
That is incorrect. Liana, do you have a guess? I love to ride horses.
Is it Brittany?
It is not Brittany. It is Xavier.
What? Oh my God. If I needed more of a reason to be obsessed with him.
Xavier has been riding horses since he was 3. He has a family friend who owns horses. And he says his uncle is the only black cowboy in Southwest Michigan, which I could believe.
Yeah, that I would also believe.
All right.
I should also mention, by the way, that Derek
secret.
I should also say that Derek F in his non-secret secret said that he'll probably sleep his way to the top 2, which phrasing.
Oh my.
Well, hey, know your strengths, girl.
I mean, there was a recent Reddit post, right, that said that showmances actually have a lot of success in Big Brother. So, like,
they do.
Statement.
Yep.
All right, Liana, let's start with you. I really love alligators. A secret dream of mine is to be an alligator expert and work with alligators.
Okay. Is it Christian?
It is not Christian. Aman, do you have a guess?
That was going to be my guess, too. That just seems like a Christian thing to say.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Sarah Beth.
You are correct. It is Sarah Beth. Sarah Beth, where is she coming from here? Where favorite movie is Rush Hour 2, and she wants to be an alligator expert as her dream job.
And she's already a forensic scientist. So it's like, girl. Jack of all trades.
I guess maybe that the clue is that like she lives in Florida, right? Maybe she moved there to get closer to the alligators.
To the Gators, yeah.
The gator.
Mhm.
Yeah. Go to Gator World or whatever.
Do you think like we sometimes see with like Dr. Will and NPH, do you think if she talks enough about alligators, they'll put alligators for her in the house?
Maybe, or making her comic.
It'll be or it'll be Oteb or something. It's like the giant alligator.
I'm Otep, the aggravated alligator.
Exactly.
I wonder if she's had alligator because they serve alligator down in Florida. I wonder if she's had it or if she's kind of like.
Oh well, I want to work with alligators as in work with their meat.
She'll be the new Joe Exotic, but like the alligator version of that.
Gator girl.
I could see it. Gator girl.
All right. Someone like Getter Girl. All right, Aman. I do not like chocolate.
I do not like chocolate. I do not.
Brent
like
is off
chocolate.
the table, right?
Yeah, unfortunately.
This is a toss-up. I feel like this is a fairly common secret to have. I'm gonna guess this is Alyssa.
That is incorrect. Liana, do you have a guess?
Oh my gosh. Is it Azza?
That is correct.
Oh.
What made you feel that way?
I don't know. I kind of went through process of elimination. I didn't feel right with anybody else. And then I thought, yeah, maybe Azza. I could see it. I could see it.
I think it's specifically because Brittany does not like chocolate. And so she felt bad and decided to also gain some antipathy towards chocolate.
I'd eat chocolate for you.
In solidarity.
Yeah, exactly.
Sacrifice my chocolate for you. Yeah.
All right, Liana. I have jumped off the tallest bridge in the United States, and I absolutely hated it.
Ooh, and I absolutely hated it. Okay. Oh my gosh. Has Christian traveled a lot? Do we know?
He's traveled.
You gotta get to the tallest bridge, right? Wherever that may be.
Unless it's in his parents' backyard.
I don't know. I have no idea. I'll go with Derek X.
That is incorrect. Aman, do you have a guess?
Who's gonna do shit like that? Claire seems to be adventurous. It could be a Christian. I think it's between those two for me. I'm gonna go with Claire again. I've guessed her so many times.
Well, a broken clock is right twice a day. Yay! You are correct. It was Claire. I thought and I absolutely hated it might give it away because it was a very clear delivery of like, I jumped off it and I hated it. She said that basically the thing you don't realize about bungee jumping is that you go down and bounce back up and then down again. So essentially when you go bungee jumping, you're going up and down roughly 15 times. It does not end with a plummet. And she did not like that.
Yeah, that's
okay. That makes sense.
She does not like heights, which goes against my, I think, solely held theory that tall people do not have a fear of heights because they're so tall.
Yeah, that's just you.
The working theory. They doubted Galileo, so I think.
Sure.
All right. Come on. I have my drone pilot's license.
Oh, I remember this conversation. Somebody was talking about this on Twitter. And I think somebody talked about it in an RHAP podcast too. But I wasn't paying attention.
This is that test, right? Where you get caught out like, oh, damn it. Why didn't I listen to seminars?
Yeah, I should have been paying attention.
Because I feel like I have a memory of Rob saying something, making some joke about wall yellers and stuff like that. Is it Derek X?
It is not Derek X. Liana.
Oh no, I wasn't guessing that. No, it's fine. Oh well, whatever.
You want another guess? You want to take?
No, it's okay.
It's okay.
Okay.
Let me see. I've been keeping a list of who is on the board still. All right. So I was thinking this in the first couple of answers, and I feel like I'm getting away from it. But like, what would somebody consider to be a secret? Like this is like a secret. Because I feel like for Christian, that's like not like the biggest secret. So I'm thinking it's either Alyssa or Tiffany. So I think I'm gonna go with Alyssa.
That is correct.
Okay, girl, go ahead.
Yeah, she said she
get
she
your
took a
drone
class in
license.
college, and now she has her drone pilot's license. So indeed, next year she could be that person to fly a drone into the house to, spy on the house guests.
She can send the message.
If only they had that. Remember that BB2 challenge where they had to fly the remote control helicopter? If only they had still had that. That would be like Alyssa's wheelhouse.
Yes.
Yeah. And then the next thing you're going to be telling me, Tiffany, is like, I'm a pro CD thrower. And so when they throw CDs into the pool, yeah, she'll be an expert at it.
All right. Last secret. Liana, we're going to start with you here.
Okay.
I really love to sing. I don't know if I have a singing voice.
I mean, my gut is Britney because of the rapping. But like,
I don't have a singing voice, but I do rap.
I do dabble in a bit of rap.
Let me take off the brim of my Zach's pink hat was torn in Brother TV show.
Selling. Yeah. I don't know. This could be like a secret for Christian or something like that. So I think I'm gonna go with Christian.
That is incorrect. Amon, one last guess.
Oh wow!
Here.
I really thought that was going to be Christian, because he's always like singing around the house, which I guess means it wouldn't be a secret.
I don't know. According to Derek F, secrets are not secrets.
So we have what? Derek X, Brittany, Christian, and Tiffany. Maybe I feel like this could be a Derek X one because like I feel like he's like into music, but doesn't talk too much about it. I want to go with Derek X.
I'm sorry. The correct answer is Tiffany.
No.
And they do a gag where like Tiffany just like hems and haws, and they do like a 1 hour later SpongeBob-esque card, and she's like, "All right, if you have to do a secret, it's because it's that I love to sing. A book at a karaoke thing, and I'll make a show out of it." So yeah, Tiffany fancies herself a songstress.
All right, good for her. Good for her.
And by a score of 3-2, it was a tight one. But Amon, you are the winner of this game.
Yay! Crushing the games tonight.
Absolutely, Amon. This is
crushing it, as they say.
Feed the positive, as was said once upon a time, and something that might also be signed on a T-shirt and given away for maybe not so exorbitant prices.
The good body that perceives intelligence.
All right, so the final thing that we've been doing on the B&B as of late with our guests is we give them the opportunity, if you'd like, to shout out a charity if you have any in mind for listeners, if they have the means to donate to. Could be something timely, could be a charity that you've always enjoyed. So Amon, I'll cede the floor to you if you're willing, if there's a charity that you would like to shout out for listeners.
I'm so unprepared. I didn't really think about that. I mean, I guess the Trevor Project is always great. In lieu of it, because I don't want to just, say some random charity that I'm not quite familiar with, I would just ask people to remain kind to people and to everyone as much as you can, to the greatest of your ability. Just be kind. We are all facing a tough battle in life, and you never know what someone is going through. And sometimes just that little speck of kindness can go a long way for people and just turn someone's day around. And so I just urge people, even in the most frustrating moments, just try to lead with kindness. I know that this might sound very Julie Chen of me, but I do believe in that message. Always try to lead with kindness.
How much are your hoodies, Amon?
They are free 99, baby.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, I'll start tucking into my piggy bank. No, I mean that's a fantastic message. I think that there's a lot going on in both the community. I think to Liana's point, our favorites are starting to turn on one another, and I think a lot of toxicity and negativity breeds from that. It hasn't gone there yet. It might reach that point. Especially where we are right now, especially where we might be in a few months. There's a lot of tempestuousness going on, and I think we owe it to ourselves and to others to be nice, to live in the silly, like we try to do on this podcast. It's tough to pull your mind out of that hardcore mindset when you're really invested and passionate about something. But I completely co-sign everything you said, Amon.
We're gonna be the good today, baby.
Be
Let's
the
do
good.
Still
it.
do not understand that.
Doesn't matter, be
Did
the
the teleprompter
good.
get cut off, Ron Burgundy style?
And go
the
F
good.
yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And remember, go F yourself and buy my.
Oh.
Can you imagine?
Amazing.
What if that's what she's actually like once the camera goes like, be the good. The lights are going down. Okay, fuck this shit. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, give me a fucking cigarette. All right, sit down with me. We got a lot of shit to talk about. I don't know why she just like takes on, I don't know, like a slug like voice, but that's what I imagine when the Chen bot becomes her real persona.
Makes
Yeah,
sense.
it's like-
when it just shuts off, you know.
Yeah.
All right, well, Mom, this was so much fun. Thank you for coming on for 2+ hours of walking through the fight card for Big Brother Friday fights, for
Mhm.
talking through this really fun season so far. Of course, this is not the last we will hear from you when it comes to Big Brother or reality TV in general. So, of course, if people want to keep up with one of my favorite reality TV accounts out there, how can people follow you on social media? And what else do you have going on in terms of podcasts?
You can follow me, Adamon Adwin, on all platforms. Most notably Twitter, of course, always gabbing away. I'm on Twitch, where I am still going through the Harry Potter series. I'm trying to get as many people involved as possible. I'm on the 4th book right now. I'm really trying to make a big production out of some of these chapters, like really turn it into some radio theater things. So I'm really excited about what's coming down the line for that. As well, I always still have my Glee podcast with Matt. We're on a bit of a summer break hiatus right now, not only because of Big Brother, but because we've really done all that there is to do regarding Glee. But there are over 200 episodes for people that are Gleeks out there to listen to. So please go out there and just listen away. And yeah, that's kind of what I got going for now. Also, I made an appearance on friend of mine, Big Brother Twitter fame as well, BB Team North. He has a podcast called Julie Girl, where I just did a guest spot on his podcast as well. And another podcast that I'm kind of excited about because it's a little I don't know how people are going to feel too much about it, but we really try to do our best to sort of delve into a conversation about the cookout and what that means for the future of Big Brother and casting and ramifications, and how we're all kind of trying to move towards this progression, and sometimes it might be a bit of a stumble and it's not always perfect. So we really try to have an honest conversation about how we feel about that, not only as just fans of the show, but as African American fans as well. So I encourage everyone to listen to that once it drops too.
That's awesome. Yeah. Liana, what's going on with you?
You can follow me on Twitter at Liana RHAP. Amon and I, and as well as Beth, are doing the Drag Race All-Stars Season 6 coverage. So we just recorded episode 7. That's out there if you're interested. We do video and audio podcasts for that. And then I'll be getting together with my sister. Lego Masters, like, I completely forgot about because Fox like skipped 2 weeks or something in there. Yeah, they like skipped a random week, then they had an episode, then they skipped. I don't know. I just get the Hulu notifications when it like pops up on my phone. So anyway, so finally they're getting to episode 7. So we're going to be covering episodes 5, 6, and 7, and that'll be coming up sometime soon. The episode airs this week, and then whenever we get it together. So if you're a fan of that, I highly recommend it. Check it out. It's always a silly, fun, good time.
Do you think they should dump Legos in the Big Brother house?
Oh my gosh. I cannot, like, everybody talks about the chessboard, but if they put Legos in the Big Brother house, that would be amazing. It would be so loud because the sound of Legos on the feeds, it would be terrible. But if I were in the house, I would be obsessed.
And that would be like a way to really get someone like Christmas level injured, right? If they step on a Lego.
That's right.
Look,
yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. Oh my God. I'm so scarred from that. Literally, I have scars on my feet from Legos.
It reminds me of like BB20, right? They had the door in one of the little rooms that like you could draw things on. Like that's what it sort of reminds me of. I think people eventually want things to work with, and I feel like Lego would be like a good source of fun for people once the line dancing and games of Mafia and skits are all over for this season.
I think you need the like big Diplo blocks though, because they make less noise. The like big child ones.
No, yeah. I mean, listen, my son has a bunch of like mega blocks downstairs that we use. So I think that's exactly what you want to go with.
There you go. There you go.
So you can follow me at a Mike Bloom type. Of course, I am doing Exit Press each and every week over on parade.com. If you haven't read up yet, I got to talk with the first 3 evictees, very interesting interviews. And I get to talk with Whitney this week, assumingly, and weeks to come. Also, from time to time, really cool opportunity I've been afforded is I occasionally get to go on the Big Brother Clubhouse app and
Oh
moderate
yeah,
some
yeah, yeah.
chat with some
Mhm.
alumni. So a couple weeks ago, it was me and it was the Hitmen, Derek and Cody. We got to have a conversation about
You did
obviously
such
a
a
lot
good job too, Mike. That was really
you.
good.
A lot of comparisons between Frenchie and Devin. And so there's a lot of chatter about that, as well as just sort of breaking down the game in general. So be sure to check that out. Hopefully, more to come there as well. And of course, with the podcast stuff, that just keeps on coming. Of course, covering Lost on Down the Hatch, the X Files on the Bloom Files with my wife, Angela, and then covering Survivor South Africa. We are in the post merge. And it's been an enjoyable time so far. It's been a heady game, but it has been a fun game. So if you're missing Survivor in your life, and if for some reason Big Brother is not occupying every waking moment of your life, check out Survivor South Africa. It's only on once a week for like 55-minute episodes. It's a fun cast. It's a fun season. And Shannon, Gus, and I are doing podcasts of about this length every week talking about it with plenty of shenanigans in between. So be sure to check that out. In terms of B&B-ness, should we actually rename B&B? It shouldn't be Big and Blue. It should be Backpacks and Bags now. That should be what this podcast
Yes.
is under on eBay.
The category is backpacks and
Backpack and
bags.
bags, baby.
Backpack first.
Backpack again.
So
Yes.
I am. So yeah, we're gonna come back in a few week time. I would say probably like depending on where schedules lie, probably around the end of August, with another guest to wrap up the next few weeks of Big Brother 23. Of course, in the meantime, if you have game ideas like Matt and Felipe, I know John sent him some eBay stuff as well. You can always email us, rhapbnb@gmail.com, the letter B, the letter N, the letter B. We are open for anything and everything if the breadth of topics today is any indication. So we love talking Big Brother. We also love talking stupid stuff on Big Brother. So if you have game ideas, send us your way. We're really grateful for it. And we're really grateful to you all for listening. Again, with so much Big Brother content out there, this is a really silly time, but a very fun time for us. Hopefully for you as well. So Liana and I are going to be back in a few weeks' time talking more Big Brother 23. Special thanks to Scott St. Pierre for editing everything behind the scenes, and Will from America for his fantastic theme song. We'll be back in a few weeks to talk more Big Brother 23 nonsense. But until then, we'll check you out at your next stay.